Let's get it. Let's get that. Let's get it. What's good? What's good? What's good? Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Request what? That was odd. Something popped up. I don't know what it was. Whatever. What's goody? What's goody? Happy Wednesday, actually. Wednesday. Hump day. What's good with you? What's good with you, good peoples? Got you a little alert. That's good. I like it. I like it. I like it. What's happening? What's up, Dante? Good morning. Good morning. Just watching Sprinkle Lady. We need to tell her about you. Share 7. Share funny as hell. I watched like 2 or 3 clips of hers today. That shit was funny. I think 1 was last night and 2 is today. Yeah, I'm trying to get the live, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get it started. I got a lot of things to get to today. So I want to make sure I do my live. I've been pushing the lives off. So I'm in the process of making the jingle for your show. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you. What's good though? What up, June? This will attract the Trumpers. All my topics attract the Trumpers. All anti-red pill topics attract Trumpers because it's all linked. Being right wing and being a red pillar they're synonymous. So what up at Patriarchy? Yep. It's all connected, baby. Like joints. What you think is underneath this comb over? Dust? Dandruff? You saw him roll back segregation? I know it's coming. What up, Onyx? I know it's en route. You know what I'm saying? I know it's en route. Melinda French responds to Bill regretting the divorce was rolling her eyes at the reporter. I don't know what that means. What we talking about, Melinda? Teresa. Mm-hmm. Melinda or Melania. Yeah, Melinda French response to Bill. I don't know who we talking about. I was wondering when you tie politics in. I do. I definitely sprinkle into politics, but in the conversations we end up having a bunch of Melinda Gates rolled her eyes. That woman ain't going back to that man. Let me tell you that right now. It's over. He want that old thing back. She good though. Politics is not of God, nor am I. I am not of God. And I disagree. I think politics are very much of God. God is very political. I would say God is all about politics, to be honest with you. Yeah, definitely. Racism and sexism. Got the young Republicans in a frenzy. Got the Gen Z Republicans in a frenzy. Let's talk about it, man. In America, if America doesn't have a culture of grape, then explain Trump. I've been uh they awkward query. Um I definitely wanted to talk about this because I've been talking or I've been reading about like pickup culture, pickup artistry, grape, which um is directly connected to grape culture and how pickup artists are very much like, they they promote grape. Um and I was thinking about how um like there's like so many like books and movies and shows or whatever where pickup artistry is glorified, and it is very telling, you know. Um think like Joey and Friends, Hitch, um I don't know, 10 Things I Hate About You. Like it's a bunch of movies I could think of where it's like, like pickup artists aren't vilified. And if they are vilified, they're not vilified enough. What's that Crazy Stupid Love or whatever? The movie with Ryan Gosling and Steve Carell. Ryan Gosling and Steve Carell is also a very popular movie, but it does it doesn't vilify pickup artistry. Yeah, Emma Stone, Julianne Moore. It doesn't vilify pickup 50 First Dates. Yeah, it's like you could just go on and on and on. It's like it's what women want, what a girl wants, right? I think it's What a Girl Wants is the name of the movie with Mel Gibson. Now I like these movies. I never, you know what I'm saying? Like I like them. I ain't gonna act like I never liked them. But I'm just saying, like when you think about it, um, that's crazy. What women wants, what women wants. I don't know what that is. What women want, what women want. Okay, that's okay. I knew it wasn't. I wasn't reading it right or something. I was like, wait. Um, yeah. But anyways, um, when you really look at grape culture in this country, it is so normalized. Like the idea, and we talk about coercion a lot, and how most men participate in coercion, but like when you look up pickup artistry, I mean, most men think it's perfectly fine to be, Ryan Gosling in that movie. Most men think it's perfectly fine to be Mel Gibson in that movie. Most men, aspire to be those types of men in real life. Um and it just gives you this like underlining, it gives you this like this idea, you know what I mean? It's an idea. Yeah, macking, the game, running game, all of this stuff, you know, this is on a small level, this goes right into what Trump did or what Trump was talking about when he was talking about grabbing women by the vaginas and stuff like that. Trump definitely would tout himself as a pickup artist, right? That's what, like, if you heard what Trump said, and when he said that in that clip, that infamous clip, when he said that he would go up to them and just like grab them and kiss them or whatever. But even would not grab her by the vagina. I'm saying like the grab. First, he said he would kiss them and stuff like that. If you guys look up, if you read about pickup artists, that is what they promote. Like he sounded like a pickup artist. He sounded just like that. You know what I mean? Like just and pickup artists also openly promote the graping of women. They openly promote that stuff. Um, and this is what he said. This is not like, if you don't believe the women, that have come forward, the scores of women that have come forward and said that Trump essayed them, harassed them, whatever the case may be. Fine, because we can't trust women, right? Like, that's what you guys want me to believe. Okay, whatever. Believe Trump. Believe him. Believe what he said out of his own mouth. Listen to what he said out of his own mouth. He said those things. He said those things, you know? So I don't know how anybody in their right mind, if they aren't a fan of grape culture, I don't know how you guys are. I don't know how this man, how you could in one breath tell me that most men don't participate in grape culture, but then most men voted for Trump and most men in this country support Trump. Unfortunately. Right, definitely of the voters, and the scores of teenagers who can't vote. The scores of teenagers who can't vote, but they support Trump. Right? They want to be big daddy Trump. And I also think that it's odd, while I'm on this topic, how it seems like men are quicker to talk about hookup culture before we talk about grape culture. Like, if you go scrolling any live, like randomly on a Wednesday or a Thursday or whatever, people be talking about hookup culture. People love talking about hookup culture, right? Which isn't even a real thing. And it doesn't even hurt anybody. Like, even, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if it exists, it doesn't hurt anybody. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't hurt anybody. But grape culture does. And grape culture does exist, and it does hurt people, right? But you guys don't talk about that. It's so rare to scroll into a live and to hear men specifically talking about grape culture. But it's so common to scroll into a live and to hear a man talking about hookup culture. Which one do you think actually impacts our society? Because one of them doesn't. You know what I'm saying? One of them has no bearing on our society whatsoever, and one of them does. So I'm trying to figure out why are men so hyper focused and hyper fixated on hookup culture. The reason why, the fact that men are focused on hookup culture proves that men are participating in grape culture, because the same men that talk about women who are out here sleeping around and trying to villainize those women, the reason why they feel like that, they think all those women are slurs. They think those women are sluts. They think those women are whatever, and they think that they are entitled to those women, and that is the thing that pisses them off, right? That is the thing that pisses them off. So it's not that women are sleeping with people. That's not what it is, right? That's not the issue. It's that they're not sleeping with the men that desire to sleep with all of these women. That's the problem. Hey, Lamar, I brought you up, brother. Are you okay? I'm doing good. I just wanted to make sure you were okay. If we needed to do a wellness check on you or something like that, because your comments were very alarming.
Don't criticize me, bro.
Oh, I wasn't criticizing God. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't criticizing you. I was just pointing out the fact that you were making. I do wish you well. That's why I brought you up, because I wanted to make sure you were okay.
Yeah, well, let me break something down for you so you can be okay, my brother. Yeah, we live in this democracy, my brother. We the minority, man. About 15% of this country, man. Your vote don't mean jack shit, man. You know, politics is bullshit, man. It's just a trend, you know? You know, all these trends, we love trends, man. So we're going to follow the trend. Whatever works for you. And I'm glad it's working for you. But it don't work for everybody. It don't work for everybody who believe, man. But it worked for those greedy mugs who happy with capitalism. Capitalism is racism at its best. Capitalism is keeping its foot on a nigga neck. That's capitalism. It's the haves versus the have-nots. You know, you might have, but everybody don't have like you. So, you know, it's like, get yours while you can.
What does that have to do with me? I'm not a capitalist. I'm not pro. Hold on, brother. Hold on. I'm not pro-capitalism. I'm anti-capitalist.
Well, you for the democracy?
What democracy? We don't live in a democracy.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
We vote. Democracy.
Just because you vote doesn't mean, look, our democracy doesn't. Hold on. Hold on, brother. Hold on. We don't live in a true democracy. We don't. Everybody doesn't get the chance to vote. That's, you know what I mean? First and foremost. Huh?
You live in a fake world, player.
Yeah.
Everything is fake, man. You fake.
I'm not fake.
It's fake. We just think it's real.
I'm definitely not fake. I'm real. I'm a whole human being.
Ideology is fake. What you believe in is fake.
It doesn't even make sense.
Sure it does, man. You can believe in untruths. You can believe in shit that ain't true.
I don't.
Okay, well, you know the truth, then. You the truth.
Yeah, I know the truth. I'm not the truth necessarily. I know the truth, though.
Tell that to somebody else, man. You ain't gonna convince me that you're the truth, player.
I didn't say I was. I just said I know it.
Okay. Well, I'm just putting you down with the rundown. It's all fake, player.
What's fake?
It's fake. This life that we live in.
What?
This life that we live in, this world that we live in, is fake, man. It's making you believe things that ain't really true.
Like what?
Whatever you believe is true, man.
That's stupid.
Okay.
Whatever I believe is true, I'm being convinced to believe it's true. But you don't. What is it? So everything is fake is dumb. No, I don't think I'm right about everything. To what? To what? To what? What are we talking about? You're being vague. I am. I'm true to all of that. I'm asked. Hold on, Lamar. To what? What do I need to answer to? That's what I'm asking. To what? I don't believe in God. That's fake. Of all the things you talking about, that's fake. That's fake. In my book. There's no proof of that. I could prove to you what I'm talking about is real. You would have to make me believe in whatever you believe. Lamar, why are you talking while I'm talking? Don't talk while I talk. Hold on. You can't prove a negative. I know. You don't prove that God is fake. It's on you to prove that God is real, and God ain't real because there's no proof that God is real. But I don't care about that. I live in reality. You don't. You're projecting. The world you live in is fake in your mind. It's just made up because you believe in fairy tales and giants and shit. You believe in giants and you believe the earth is 6,000 years old. I don't believe in that type of shit. I'm saying if you say God is real, you would have to prove that God is real. I don't need to prove that God is not real. You say God is real. I say God isn't real. I didn't say, sir. Lamar, go take your meds. Seriously. Like you're hallucinating. I don't give a fuck about that. No, you're not. You're not. You're not filled with the Spirit of God. You, sir, Lamar.
Why are you negative?
I'm not negative.
Why are you negative?
You're projecting again.
See, we can tell, man.
Positive in what? What you talking about? What are you talking about, man? Talking about God don't make you positive. It make you a weirdo. Bringing God into a discussion like this makes you weird, not positive. You ain't even addressed the prompt. All right. Take your meds, though. First things first, take your meds. God damn. Nah. Y'all said, she said, say no to D-Rugs. Absolutely not. Lamar needs to say yes to D-Rugs. The ones that his doctors prescribed to him. Just say yes. Go on and crack that motherfucking bottle open. Go on and pop that bottle open. Take you two of them things, bro. God damn. So Nigel said, two for brother Lamar, shalom. What the fuck are you talking about? She said shalom. Lydia said these hoteppers suck. What the fuck they be on, man? I don't be understanding that shit. That shit is crazy. Just 2 more pills, baby. Just 2 more pills. And you gonna be all right. Until tomorrow. Cause goddamn. Yeah, brother. I'm trying to learn you something, young man. God is in your mind. And I got the word with me all day, all night. See. The effervescence of an extraterrestrial vernacular, subsequently subjugated into 2 perpendicular extremities. Now, see, what you missed was my fortitude. See. Now. See. God had came forthright with oh my God. Damn, man. Where y'all get all this knowledge from and you niggas can't read? That's what I be wondering. I be like, where these niggas get all this information from and they ain't read shit. Nigga ain't read a pamphlet. Like, God damn. Where did you get it from? Nah. See. What you want to do, my brother? What you want to do is excommunicate yourself from the world as it evolves. Because see. When God comes down and reigns upon thee, you will know at that time that the Lord is supreme. Now I could tell by the look in your eyes, you have the spirit of a Jezebel. But since the Lord Jesus saith, God giveth with but 2 hands. You following? These niggas, man. I'm at some point in time, though, all I be saying is put the fries in the bag. Like at some point in time in the conversation, put the fries in the bag. That's it. You can keep talking. Just, you know what I'm saying? I got places to go. People to see. Lydia said, 2 on public for being a fool. I can't breathe. I don't even know who that is. Look at her. He's still in the comments. He is greenest with envy, vainglorious. He is protected by the red, the black, and the green with the key to see. Nigga sound like Brother X. Nigga sound like Brother X from X Clan, nigga. You don't get up out of here with that shit. Abracadabra. Done. To proselytize yourself. Y'all niggas ain't y'all. You must learn the error of your ways. Repent before one is sent and life is spent. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Ra. Hey, if y'all ever see me wearing a kufi one day, man, go on and I ain't gonna even hold you. Mind your business. If y'all see your boy in the kufi one day, mind your goddamn motherfucking business. I'm in Ross St. Brown. I'm in Ross St. Brown. Tonight it said, quote, now see if a woodchuck could chuck wood, then a woodchuck would, my brother from another mother. Them niggas love to rhyme at the end. I don't know. Trump's still back there, man. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, knick knack, patty whack, give a dog a bone. It's cool. I feel you. It be like that sometimes. All I be saying is, take your meds. Take your meds. That is how Trump talk. That's why they like that motherfucker. Trump talk just like them. Don't be making no fucking sense, babbling. Trump don't be making no sense. Talking in circles, just saying stuff. Yeah, they're turning the mice trans. They're turning the mice trans. I said no to that. I put a stop to that. They're turning the mice trans. I said no. What? What, sir? What you talking about? Right? The Haitians are eating our pets. What? What the hell? What the hell? What? Smoke you like a blunt. Lamar, just because you don't have nothing to live for, don't mean shit to me. I don't know why y'all niggas act like they stopped making guns when they sold y'all. When they sold you yours, they didn't stop making them, my nigga. Because that's the only way it's gonna happen. Zayna said, and the gods of the earth will travel. Which hold on. And the gods of the earth will travel around Uranus. What are we talking about here? I don't even know. That's just what the man came up here, didn't address the prompt, and started telling me about God, Jesus, our Lord. Whole time he a devil. He just threatened my life in the comments. This demon just threatened my life in the comments, and he up here talking about God to me, talking about why you so negative, nigga. What? Oh my God! It's always the demons. I ain't never seen a good man bring up God before. I'll be honest with you. I ain't never seen a good man bring up God. Like, what the hell? What is wrong with y'all? Good men don't got to do that. They just be good men. Then you start following them. You start peeping them. Then you get close. You go, hey man, what? What make you so good and so even killed all the time? They be like, brother, you gotta get you some of this. It's called Jesus Christ. And you go, oh damn, okay, that's what's up. Shit, that's why he's such a good person. He believe in Jesus. He a follower of Christ. All right, bet. Y'all doing this shit backwards. Y'all trying to tell me you a follower of Christ, but then you get in the comments and threaten my life like a demon. So pardon me, my brother, if I don't believe you. Hey, somebody just came in the chat. The nigga name is Bumping Uglies for Jesus. I might have to restart the live, man. I got a restriction. I already know. I know what's to follow after that. I know what's to follow after a restriction. You know, you gotta be careful with them restrictions. Should I spin the block on that, or should I come back with the thing? You know what? I'm gonna come back with the thing we did yesterday, Bumpy. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. They don't want to talk about Trump being a rapist. Bumping uglies for Jesus is crazy. Yeah, I think it's because I said pew pews a few times. I don't know, but we're gonna see. What did I want to do right now? Oh, I remember. Hey y'all, I switched it up. I went back to the part from yesterday. I don't know what they own right now, so we're gonna see. I'll probably revisit the Trump prop later. I'm gonna see what's going on the ticky tax though. Let's see what's going on the ticky tax though. Uh-huh. They don't want it. They don't want to do it. I was thinking about this shit yesterday. You know what was funny? I don't know if y'all was in here, but yesterday some gym bros was trying to get on me. I told them, I was like, yeah, bro, I worked out for like 15 years straight. And I had like little blips, you know, like right now I took them like I probably ain't been worked out in like 6 or 7 months. But anyways, they was like, what's your split? And I told them before that, I was like, I'm not a gym bro. I was like, gym bros are stupid to me. Like, I don't count macros. I don't count calories. I just worked out and ate. I ate when I was hungry. I went to the gym and worked out hour and a half a day. That's what I did all the time. I wasn't trying to get no six pack. I wasn't trying to get massive gains. I wasn't trying to do none of that goofy shit. I was just trying to work out, right? The motherfuckers was like, what's your splits? I'm gonna say, what, nigga? I ain't no scripper. Splits? What are you talking about? I'm a cheerleader? Yeah, Query. That's what I'm saying. They just be saying shit. Like, nigga, I that's what I do. Like, I'm not no my splits are banana. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was super lame. What's your split? Oh my God, you don't know. I just told you. I don't drink protein shakes. I don't take ACBAs or whatever the fuck them shits is called. We drink no colorful juices after I get done working out. I don't be in the gym with no workout bag. Nigga, I'll be in there with my phone. I don't come in there with no gloves, no straps, nothing. But I was moving weight. I know that. It made me think about that shit afterwards. I was like, what was my whatever the fuck. Let's see. Based, what's good with you?
Not much. What's going on with you?
Chilling, fam. What's going on, man? You can address the problem if you would like. Oh, well, I would like for you to address the problem, I should say.
Yeah, I think red pill is pretty spot on. It kind of just lifts the rose-colored glasses off of most men.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like how people straw man it and pretend that men don't hold a lot of these beliefs. Like, you know, you hear, Andrew Tate told you to believe that. No. Most men have these traditional and they appreciate masculinity when they're young.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of gets beaten out of them.
Masculinity does? Who beats masculinity out of me?
The matriarchs in the family, because there's no fathers in any communities. So the matriarchs beat it out of them, out of their sons.
So who gives them the idea of masculinity to begin with?
The women? Who gives the women? The
No.
TV.
No. You're saying they beat it out of them. And you're saying the matriarchs raised the boys. So who gives the boys the idea of masculinity to begin with?
Well, I would say God. It's innate in men.
Well, but wait, it's not though. Right? Like, let's hold on. If we have to just I'll listen to anything you have to say, right? Just if you can, bear with me. If we cannot have this discussion rooted in reality, if I have to believe something for me to understand what you're saying or to accept what you're saying, then it's going to be almost impossible for us to have this conversation. So I personally don't believe in God. I'm atheist. So you could say nature, but then even that you would have to explain. I mean, we even with that though, we know that masculinity and femininity are just concepts, right? They're just social constructs. They're not naturally anything, right? You know that, right?
Well, they're temperaments. I would agree with that. And you can kind of.
What do you mean they're temperaments?
Play into it a little bit.
What do you mean they're temperaments?
To be masculine.
But what do you mean by their temperaments? Temperaments. What do you mean by that?
Well, to be male, according to all the ancients, is to be active. Carl Jung talked about this. And for women, it's passive. And this makes sense because in nature, women are receivers by nature. And that means men emit and women receive.
But that's not true. What do you mean in nature?
Women, who's the receiver then?
When you say receiver, what are you talking about? Receiver of what?
Literally receiving seed.
We don't give women seeds though. Sperm isn't a seed, technically. But women aren't receivers though. Like they are active, right? And what do you? Yeah, like if you wanted the ancients, quote unquote, which I don't really abide by what the ancients say because they didn't know shit. But generally speaking, yeah, I would say that the ancient women were more active. Like they did everything. They built, they invented, they birthed children, they took care of children, they hunted, they gathered, they protected, they fought in the wars, like all of that stuff. So ancient women were extremely active. You know what I mean? Like if we're doing that.
But were they more active than the ancient men? No. And
I think it was equal.
You could call them active.
But wait, I think it was equal. Like at best, I'm saying at best, hear me out. At best, it was equal. If anything, women were more active. Women are still more active than men now, but at best, they were more active. At best, it was or sorry, at worst, it was women were more active than men, right? Like, slightly more active back in the day. But I would say, based on what I read, that they equally contributed. You know what I mean? Because they both fought, they both hunted, they both built the community, like they did everything. This is before the patriarchy was invented. This is before misogyny was a thing, right? So you have to think back in the day, if you had a counterpart that was just as smart as you and that was just as capable as you, like women are, why wouldn't they use that? Why would they be like, no, you sit in the house and just receive? Like they was like, no, we need that shit. we trying to survive out here. We need water, we need food, you know what I mean? We need resources. Yeah, we need to protect ourselves. Everybody was contributing.
Sure, but there is certain elements of women in their bodies that are designed specifically for procreation. And she does not have that competitiveness. Getting pregnant is damage to all of that activity you just said. All of it.
But I think you're conflating a lot of things. So are you talking about procreation specifically or reproduction specifically?
No, I don't. Well, this is what I want to get to. I wasn't just talking about procreation, because when you were saying, like, I do think it's intrinsic in all of us. And when you denied it, I feel like you're just denying demographics. Like you're denying that certain people, races, certain genders, men and women, they have certain traits. That's just objectively true. Women are notoriously more agreeable. Men are notoriously more impulsive. There's no workaround to this.
Well, I agree with that. I'm not saying that I disagree with that men and women exhibit certain traits, but I'm saying that those traits are they're put into us by society. It's not we're born that way. I don't think men are born disagreeable, right? And I don't think women are born agreeable. Well, I do think women are born. I do think we as a species are born agreeable, right? And then I think that men are, like you said, I think masculinity beats the agreeableness out of us and teaches us individualism, gives us hubris, and gives us an ego. And that fucks up any, hope that we have of being like egalitarian or working side by side with women, because now we put ourselves on a pedestal and we like to think that we're better than women, right? So that's what happened. But I don't think that naturally that's what it is. I completely disagree. I reject that wholeheartedly.
Okay. So here's the thing, though. You said egalitarian.
Mm-hmm.
Egalitarian can't exist if men put their foot down because they have the monopoly on force. So it's really whatever men allow.
You're making my point.
What am I? No, because people straw man this. Oh, you're saying violence against women? No, I'm saying men could. And if you're going to say this is a patriarchy, by definition, this is not a good patriarchy, because wouldn't a patriarchy just have not some, but they would just have all the women in cages and they would just be breeding farms, basically.
No,
that's a patriarchy.
No, it's not. When you
do this, but they don't, because the men are benevolent.
When you use that word straw man, that would be the time to use it. That was a straw man, because that's not what the patriarchy is. The patriarchy doesn't say we put women in cages. There's a version of that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a version of the patriarchy. That's not the patriarchy though. Right? And we have, oh, wait. It is. It's terrible. It is terrible for women. That doesn't make it, sir. As a black man, let me tell you something. I will never, ever, ever accept the idea that I am privileged or anything like that because I am better off than my ancestors were when they were enslaved, right? I'm not privileged because nowadays white people are a little bit more agreeable than they were 150 or 160 years ago, right? That's not a step. That's not something I'm proud of, or I would ever say that, like, ever give like thanks to white people for like, thanks for not, keeping me a slave. Never, ever. That's not how it works. And that's not how it works for women, right? Saying that men are benevolent when men are the oppressors just doesn't make any sense, right? Women.
If it was the 1950s, I would agree with you. We have feminazis today, which does.
What is a feminazi? Wait, hold on. We have real Nazis today. But what is a feminazi?
Those, honestly, I think most of those guys are role playing.
Hold on. Time out. So real Nazis are role playing, but feminazis are real. Like, what?
They LARP it online to get views. What?
So why? Hold on, wait. So why don't you give this made up idea of a feminazi the same whatever you want to say, credence or whatever, right? Like why don't you give it the same attention or lack of attention? Oh, you can dismiss real Nazis that really exist, that really are out here hurting people.
Because that's a few bad apples. Most people are not that.
Okay.
But many more people are on the verge of accepting this radical feminism.
Okay. And what is radical feminism?
There's a lot of feminists out there.
What is radical feminism? Wait, what is feminism? First and foremost, what is feminism?
The veneer of equality, and there are books written about this.
Hold on, wait. What is feminism?
The veneer of equality.
It's not the veneer of equality. What is it though?
That's the pipe dream they've sold you, because men and women can't be equal, because men have to allow women to be equal. If men put their foot down and say, sorry ladies, we're not budging, what are the women going to do?
I disagree, because we've seen in history women go on strike, countries of women go on strike, and the men didn't know what the fuck to do. Women actually have the power. And the sooner that all women recognize that, the sooner this shit ends.
And what is this shit? Because I'm pretty sure women are winning.
People like you,
hold on.
sir.
I'm pretty sure women are winning in 2025 by every metric. So
This,
my question is, aren't you guys tired of winning?
Because your work to encourage violence against women.
Wait, are you talking about my work?
Violence against
you're
women.
buffering?
And we have to recognize the fact that men are the biggest No, men are you gonna let me finish, or are you just gonna?
I think you had a little lag. You had a little.
You're gonna understand where I'm coming from if you don't shut up.
Yeah, you had a little lag. You're good. You were buffering for a second.
So anyway, thanks, Bub.
Yeah.
It's Rads, by the way.
I know who it is. You're good. As soon as you started talking, I knew who it was.
So men are the biggest perpetrators of violence against women, and not just women, but other men.
I agree.
What I'm
That's
talking
obvious.
about.
That's obvious, though.
And
The
it's
more
not just
aggressive gender is
physical
gonna be.
violence, though.
I'm not saying it's good, but it is par for the course. The more aggressive gender is going to be more violent.
That's not true, but the reality is that men are oppressing women even in 2025, and there's no evidence of women oppressing men. You keep saying women are winning. Okay, what system do women control? Name an institution in this country that women control.
They control how your sons are raised.
That's not an institution. Name an hold on. Name an Name an institution. Again, I'm very, very clear about this. Name an institution, not an idea, not a concept, an institution, right? They don't run the education institution. They're in it, but they don't. You're right.
Yeah, more men control school boards.
So
than
women
women.
have basically virtue signaled men out of education because feminist theory and all of these.
Hold on, you're moving around. Hold on, brother. I want to stay on one thing at a time. Let's not blow past that. Women do not control education in this country. Men do. They always have, right? You could go back even as early as J.D. Rockefeller, who really was the one that made the push. He was the one that funded, like, yeah, we need like public schools, and this is what we need to teach the kids, and and then all the way up to right now with Bill Gates.
They made the Federal Reserve right before Christmas in 1913. They promoted the public education system right before Christmas in 1913, and they snuck in some feminist laws in 1913.
What feminist laws? Name the laws. Name them. And what do you mean by feminist laws? Name the laws.
I think the bill of the 19th Amendment was proposed right before Christmas. No one will notice. And they proposed this because they know you get rid of the fathers, the more agreeable.
What is the bill? What is the 19th Amendment?
Submit to the government.
What is it? What is the 19th Amendment?
Letting women vote.
Oh, that's a feminist law. Letting women vote is a feminist law?
In 1895, they did a poll about 600,000 women in Massachusetts. 4% of them even gave a damn to put in a ballot. 96% didn't even want to vote because they thought their motherly roles were such on a higher plane than getting into politics or the damn.
So you don't think women, you don't, so you think, and I just want to be clear, you don't think women should vote?
I don't even think women think they should vote. They don't.
No. I'm asking you, do you think women should vote?
No, they shouldn't because they don't have any responsibilities. What is a woman's duty? I get fined $250,000 if I don't sign up for the draft. What is the woman's duty to society?
If you don't sign up for the draft.
Yes.
That's your go-to is the draft. How old are you?
Dude, I asked you what duty women have.
I mean, they have tons of duties, but I'm just curious.
Talk about misogyny and patriarchy. The only right, and I promise you, I'm being honest, the only right men have had over women throughout history was the right of a 14-year-old boy to go die in war. That's hold on. You're
contradicting yourself. You literally just talked about women not having the right to vote. So that's two rights right there, which we know is more than that.
The right to vote, and you guys are going to say, "Oh, well, those women didn't know what they were talking about back then." And I'm ask, so do we believe?
What? Say it again.
Women did not want to vote, and they
listen. Hold on. Women, regardless of what they wanted to do or what they didn't want to do, according to you, women didn't have the right to vote. And you just said the only right women don't have is to go off to war and unalive, which is a lie. Right now, let me ask you another question. How old are you?
I'm 23.
You're 23. Okay. How long?
Can I just go back to real quick?
Go ahead.
I'm still talking about selective service. Who decided that only men would be the ones to register for selective service?
Because they gave a damn about their women.
No, because the men didn't want to stay home with the children.
What?
Which is
okay. So I'm gonna get blown up in fucking Iran because
hey, watch the language. Watch the language.
Give me a break. She really just said.
Men decided that. Men decided that.
You're lying.
They didn't want to be the ones to stay. Yeah, okay. I don't give a fuck. They decided that they didn't want to stay home with the children because when we saw the strikes, the women's strikes, men were the ones who had to care for the children and go to work and do all the shit that women do today. And they couldn't handle it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I have a question for you, Base.
Men couldn't handle raising kids. Have you seen what single mothers do?
Yeah, they're awesome at raising kids. But Base, I have a question for you. Let me ask a serious question. This is crazy to me. When did you encounter this information? Because you're so young, you're only 23, right? And you're already seeming very much brainwashed. When did
again, dude, I mentioned this in my first opening minute. That all you guys, men don't really believe this. They're so dumb. Andrew Tate told. No, dude. Every man, think of Call of Duty lobbies, the most toxically masculine platform there could be back in the day. Yeah. All men were having the time of their lives. And yeah, there was some foul language and it wasn't the most polite shit.
Why are you speaking for all men?
Men were most happiest in these so-called toxic
Sir, I am a man. I played Call of Duty. I put my headset on for a week and took it off because it was stupid. I did it with 2K too. I played 2K and I had the headset on. And it was dumb. And I was like, why the hell?
Your nails is stupid. It's not about your opinion. I'm making the point. Men were happy as fuck.
I'm a man.
Okay, but the matriarchs clobbered the men and beat
Sir, you're not making sense. Women don't even give a fuck about 2K and shit like that. I'm telling you, you just say, hold on. Listen. You are being hyperbolic. You just said all men love that. And I'm telling you, it's super easy to swat down because I'm a man. And I happened to play those games back in the day, and I didn't like it. It was goofy because I was a fucking adult, and I thought it was dumb to be in a room yelling at kids. And you were probably you probably when you 10 years old, maybe when I was playing it.
That's what I was saying when you're 10 years old. I didn't say when you were an adult. I said young boys had the time of their lives chopping it up with their friends, and all of feminism said, no, man, you can't even enjoy that because it's toxic.
Because it leads to violence against women in the real world.
Give me a fucking break. It's like saying GTA is going to make these men
would say that they were going to come and rape me and all kinds of other shit because I was better at it than they were.
Or you were probably talking shit too, and then now you're.
She can't talk shit.
No.
She can't talk shit. No. But no, Raj, you can't talk shit because you're a woman. You can't. That's what I'm saying. Like you, that
I wasn't. As soon as they found out that I was a woman, all bets were off. They said that.
How can they find out you're a woman if you're not talking?
Because I spoke. Because I spoke. When I was like, oh, good round, guys. They're like, oh, fuck, that's a great. Fuck you, I'm gonna grape you, you dumb B-word, and all this other shit.
they would get so excited when a woman would be, and I don't mean that in a good way. They get so excited when a woman is in their space because those dudes.
In that environment,
Sir,
you participated,
can I ask you?
You spoke, you made your presence known.
Can I ask you a question?
Now you're acting like you were an angel.
She is based. When was the last time? When was, just out of curiosity, do you have a girlfriend?
Yeah.
You do?
Mhm.
And what does she think about all this stuff?
She finds it so fascinating, and most women fall in love with a dude.
Hold on.
Who doesn't
Hold
pander
on.
to the propaganda.
Hold on. You talk to your woman about this stuff,
Yeah.
and she finds it fascinating.
Interesting, and she agrees. Yeah.
So you have found a woman. How old is she? Is she a woman or a girl?
You always add on people. It's pathetic.
I haven't ad what?
Do you have a girlfriend?
How was that an ad hominem? How was that an ad hominem? That's not. I asked you a fucking real question.
You're talking about my mother next?
Maybe.
Because that's all you have. You can't break down arguments at all.
What? You haven't made a coherent argument.
I'm saying
You talk like a dude. Sir, I'm not even gonna, this is an ad hominem then, if you want to take it as one. You speak like a guy holding a poster on the side of a corner. Like you're just rambling. You've been all over the place. You don't even know. There's no coherent argument. I'm trying to help us make a point so we can. I've asked you questions you can't answer. See what I'm saying? Don't project that shit onto me. Like I'm the one who can't break down an argument. You're not making an argument. You're just saying random things. Okay, what is your crystal clear argument? You think red pill is healthy for men? So you think red pill is healthy for men, right? You didn't, when I asked you what feminism was, you didn't give me the right answer, but whatever. You think red pill is healthy for men when red pill is the idea that men are superior to women, and it promotes violence against women and children and other men. And you think that this is healthy?
Red pill's not the disease. It's a response to feminism.
It's not red pill. Red pill is not.
But what came first, feminism or red pill?
People ask you these questions about like what kind of relationships you engage in. And like, dude, is your mom in your life? Things like that to try to understand like who you are as a human being.
No,
like,
it's false. No, it's facetious. It's false empathy. It's tiresome. We've all heard
it. It's not. Because if I wanted to say stuff like that to you, I would be like, you've never touched a woman, and I know that. Yeah. If that's where I'm coming from, that's what I would say. But that's not what I'm saying. That's not why we ask these questions. I don't want to know shit from you. Because
do you think women in the 1950s would call men virgins as insults? Exactly. They can't, because they were virgins. That's the difference. Feminism are so empowered. You're outing yourself. You think it's some. Who cares? I just have sex.
Weird, my guy. Like, I don't think you understand how weird it is.
Only brainwashed feminists
would make
fun of men for being virgins.
Why are you so fascinated about stuff that happened decades ago? Culture changes. Social. These things, they change with time. Do we still wear the same clothes that we wore back then? No, we don't.
Hold on.
Things change.
Whether I wear
You're fixated on something that was decades ago that probably didn't even, that probably only existed maybe even before your parents.
Whether I wear cotton or
poly. Were your parents born in the 1950s? Were they alive then? Because my parents weren't.
Okay, I said red pill is the response to the disease of feminism, and you're still pretending that wasn't.
How is feminism a disease?
Because even from the roots, it's bad, and today it's bad. It's so
that doesn't answer my question. Don't be vague. Okay. How is feminism a disease? How is it bad? So just so we're clear. Hold on, wait. Just so we're clear. No, because you don't know what it is. So just so we're clear, feminism is the belief that men, women, and children should be treated fairly and equitably. Now you tell me how that. Yes.
You're being. It's equally. That's the slogan.
No, it's equitably. Men and women aren't. You're right. Men and women aren't equal. Women are superior to men as of right now. Women are. Women are, I don't worship women. I don't worship women or men. I'm just being honest. It's an honest assessment. They're smarter than we are. They're better. They're more in touch with humanity than we are. Objectively speaking, they are better people than us. They live longer than we do. When we leave them alone, they're healthier than we are. Like, they're better people than us. I don't know what to tell you. They're less harmful. Men are responsible for 98% of the violence in the world. That's a reason why men fight in all the wars, because we should fight in the wars, because we're the idiots that want to fight in the wars. Women are more diplomatic than men. Like, they're just objectively better people than men are, right? They're more nurturing. No, you're making up excuses now.
Dude, no, a woman presenting herself as more moral is objectively a good biological strategy for her. Women cannot be as blunt as men because they don't have the size to defend themselves from the tribe. This is olden days logic, and this is all hardwired into us.
Yeah, I disagree. But you still haven't answered the question. So what is wrong with feminism?
It's so wrong of what we know about human nature and the difference of men and women that it puts everyone in a cognitive dissonance, and then everyone is suffering.
These are platitudes. You're not being specific.
All right, bro, here's what I mean. 1 in 4 women on psychiatric medicine. 1 in 3 women, or 1 in 4 women on anti-psychiatric meds.
Sir, that has nothing to do with feminism. Again, why is feminism a disease?
1 in 4 will have an abortion in their lifetime. 1 in 3.
Again, not a feminist. That has nothing to do with feminism. This has nothing to do with feminism. Again.
So feminism doesn't say to be liberated and have sex all the time.
No, that's not what feminism says. It's not what feminism says.
Embrace your sexual altar. Yes, the fuck it does.
Embrace your sexual altar? What the fuck does that even mean? What are you talking about?
What happens? These women basically want to be goddesses, and what can they do? They use sex to do it. They fulfill their ego. They break.
Base, there's no way in hell that you have a girlfriend. You are an incel. All of your talking points are everything you just said is straight from a 4chan board. I swear to God.
So
everything, every last thing you have uttered, I've read it. I've seen it somewhere else. Like straight from violent men. You sound like a dangerous man to women. Like you sound like a threat to women.
You know what's funny? I'm an incel. You say the patriarchy is bad, and then you use the patriarchy as a way to judge me.
What?
You lose instantly, bro.
What the fuck are you talking about?
The patriarchy is so bad. I'm gonna use the patriarchy.
That doesn't even make sense. You don't even know what the patriarchy is.
No, dude. The patriarchy is men ruling. Anything else is feminism.
What? You don't even know. Like, sir, what is your highest level of education? Out of curiosity.
Finance degree.
So you went to college. Again, I doubt it.
You can doubt whatever.
Highly doubt it. You can barely. This is not an ad hom. Again, you're not making sense. That is not an ad hominem attack, but I don't believe that you went to college because you are inarticulate and your thoughts are all over the place.
Okay, you don't.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Nice little two-dimensional insult, but guess what?
It's not an insult, sir. You think time out, base. You think I'm insulting you? I'm not. I swear to God, I'm not. I'm not trying. That's not my intention. I'm just calling it out. See, you think that's an insult, but it's not. You saying I sound like a woman when I just told you I think women are superior to men right now. So you think that would insult me because you think women are less than men, right? And you think that's an ad hominem attack in your mind, but it's dumb. To me, I'm saying, okay, thanks. You think I sound like a woman? Why? Because I'm intelligent? Because I can articulate myself? Because I'm making sense? Because my thoughts are linear, not circular? Like, what do you mean? Because I'm calling you on your bullshit? What makes me like a woman? That's what I want to know. Like, you just, that is you. You are projecting.
Dude, the roots of feminism are Luciferian. There are books.
Sir, I don't believe in God or the devil. And if God and the devil is real, I'm on the devil's side.
It doesn't matter if you believe in God because that's what they used to usher it into.
Who is they?
these hardcore feminists, these suffragists and stuff.
So you think women are, here's what I'm saying. Again, straight from women hate groups, right? Men say, this is exactly what you're saying, that women are innately evil. That is what incels preach and speak about.
No, it's not that women are innately evil, it's the hell within the women.
That's stupid.
And today, feminism actually promotes that even more because there's a cognitive dissonance. There's two.
What is cognitive dissonance?
Two contradictory beliefs that you can't live fucking life. That's why 1 in 4 have an abortion, 1 in 3 have an STD, and 1 in 4, I forget the other one, but you get the point. They're on psychiatric.
No, you just all you did was get some all you did was get some arbitrary stats and think that you reciting them in this instance would actually make a point, but they don't.
Wait. So you just think it's nothing that 1 in 3 or 4 of these women are on degenerate routes?
They're not. That's not a degenerate route. Getting an AB, isn't it?
Is objectively degenerate.
In what way?
You're not generating a fucking life.
What the fuck are you talking about? You're not generating a life? What the fuck are you talking about?
A life or a potential life. You're getting rid of a life.
You don't care about life?
Dude, who cares what I care about? I'm telling you what
this is about what you think.
I'm telling you.
I care about what you think in this instance, believe it or not, based. I care about what you think in this instance. So when you, what you are telling me is your opinion and your opinion only. You're not, you're nothing, nothing you're saying is based in fact or objective truth. This is your opinion, right? So when you say that, oh man, they're getting rid of a life, you don't care about life. I have a question for you, right? Because you mentioned it, right? You tried to shame women for getting help from the government. Why would you do that?
Because the government and all the other people are not responsible for their mishap.
If the government isn't responsible for its own people, then who is responsible for its own people?
If I keep getting in fights,
don't ask me a question, sir. Don't ask a question when I ask a question. If the government, what is the government in theory? What is the government supposed to be?
A military defense.
Nope, that's not what the government is. No, that's not. The government doesn't. Hold on. Social programs are unconstitutional is a lie. Yeah. And it proves what I'm saying. You don't care about children or women or anybody. So why are you grandstanding right now, acting like if a woman gets an AB, that's the problem? You want the woman to not get the AB, have the baby come out just so some asshole like you can say, oh no, you can't feed the baby. Suffer the consequences. Is that what you want? That sounds Luciferian to me.
No, some random broad getting an abortion is not the problem. It's a microcosm of what we're in. We're in an age where all women basically have a cognitive dissonance. Remember, you asked me to define it. I gave you the correct answer, and then you moved on. You have about 100 million of these little pellets you try to shoot at me. I'm making a simple point. From the ground up, feminism was Luciferian. They wrote, and these are facts, in 1895, they wrote something called the Woman's Bible. Elizabeth Cady Stanton, feminist. You probably heard of her. Maybe you didn't. Then, a little bit later, there was another one called Lucifer, the liberator.
Have you read the Woman's Bible? Have you read the Woman's Bible?
Yeah, dude, and they basically say that those mean men were just
that's the synopsis of the book.
Yeah, they basically say the men are mean, and they took out all the patriarchal parts of the Bible.
So you never read it.
They worship the mother goddess, who is really in relation with her.
Hold on, wait. So you never. So it's safe to say you never read it.
No, I read it. I just told you.
But you're not giving me anything. You haven't given. Sir, you don't sound like you have a grasp of what the book actually said at all. That's what I'm saying. Like,
when I tell you they took out all the patriarchal parts of the Bible,
that would be the whole entire Bible. The whole entire Bible is patriarchal.
Oh yeah, dude, and that's where it stems from.
That's where the patriarchy stems from?
No. Well, I don't know about all that, but I'm saying that's where feminism stems from, basically. Anti-Bible, anti-patriarchal. I know it's not a one-to-one like conversion, but it is very correlated. That the Bible is very patriarchal, and feminists rewrote. Imagine if we wrote the Muslim, the woman's Muslim Bible or whatever, the woman's
Quran.
Yeah, they could never get away with this shit, but we're allowed to do it with Christianity.
Why? What do you mean they would never get away with it? Are you talking about because Muslims are more violent than Christians?
No, because the mob panders hardest to the Muslims. They'll throw the Christians to the lions like the olden days.
Bro.
You know that's a fact, dude.
I don't know anything you're saying is a fact. I'm not gonna even hold you. Let me read something real quick. Zaina said, and the guy, hold on. To Nigel, Nigel said, I'm being impersonated in these comments. Davina said, as quote unquote blank slates, babies are typically naturally loving. Society conditions people. Misogyny is taught, not natural. Therefore, all quote gender roles are natural, unquote arguments are inherently and emphatically incorrect. Biku said, did 2 wars, stay at home mom now, war is easier. Your favorite irritation said, if life doesn't drive you to do smugs, a man will be what the actual fuck. Ellie Enzi said, just want to say meds are not intrinsically bad. They're not. Britt said he sounds like he calls women foids. He definitely calls women foids. Flower says, what'd you say?
Heard of it.
Of course you've heard of it.
Yeah, I'm not one of these guys that just, I've never heard. Dude, we're all fascinated by this. And you know what a foid is too. So
I do know that. That's my job to know. I know. I know.
I'm doing when I debate you guys. I'm doing the same research you are.
No, you're not. Flower said, Banks, get out of the dark room and touch some grass. Based. Base, get out of the dark room and touch some grass. Davina said, that quote, women are evil, unquote trope has been around since the ancient Greeks. They literally wrote whole philosophies on it. Yep. Felicia said, clearly brainwashed. Teresa said, he's going to get the live band. Please drop him. That's 2 on his head. Teresa said, he sounds like the Malleus Mel Facarum written in crayon. Women are on mental health meds because half of us are SA before adulthood. Drop the idiot. That's 7.
Half of women are raped before.
Don't say that word, please.
Well, okay. Well, what are we?
Great.
Are we saying what is assault? Are we talking
S-aid? S-aid is S-aid, and there's a lot of things that fall under.
Lump in catcalling with that too.
There's a lot of things that will fall underneath being S-aid. Felicia said,
so it's up to self-perception,
hold on, wait. Why does he hate women? Clearly needs help. And Honey Lamar says, what Bible he talking about? King James also rewrote his own Bible several times, and King James was a homosexual. Mimi said, abort base from the panel. I'm casting my vote. That's 12. All right, go ahead, Shan. Okay. All right. Angel said OnlyFans subscriptions aren't degenerative.
They
aren't degenerate. Sorry, not degenerative. Degenerate. They are? Okay.
OnlyFans is another great example of feminism.
It's not.
OnlyFans not only props women, but it also basically destroys men's spirits at the same time. And this is the whole point of feminism.
How does it destroy men's spirit?
By jacking some fucking broad on OnlyFans?
How does that destroy his spirit? You didn't answer the question.
There's an old ancient quote, the chimp in state of nature never jacks off, but in captivity he does. And we have a gooner society because everything's perverted and we've been bullied into accepting over this perverted society, really.
And who perverted and first of all, if no men paid to masturbate to these women, would these women still get up and create OnlyFans pages? Yes or no? No. Okay, so there's a market for it. Okay, first, and men. Hold on, and men are the market first and foremost. So already you got to blame men. Secondly, hold on. I'm not done. Are there more men that pay for OF or more women who do OF?
Yeah, there's got to be more men.
Okay. So more men pay for it. So men are actually the problem, not women.
No.
And it's not feminism, it is the patriarchy. Lastly, do you think if these women were financially stable, right? And we gave more women and men access to healthcare, education, affordable living, so on and so forth. Do you think that would decrease the numbers of OF participation from women?
If we gave women access to healthcare, you mean abortion? And then
that's not what I fucking said. Stop being weird. Stop, base. Stop being weird. Healthcare is healthcare. Healthcare is being able to go to the doctor.
No, it's not.
It is.
Making a mistake.
Sir, I'm not talking. Why are you up? Sir, I'm not obsessed with ABs like you are. I don't give a fuck about it. I'm talking about women going to, sir, I don't care.
Hold on, real quick. I got something to say. Because he just said there's no other healthcare for women besides that. And this is why I didn't know what to go ahead on. Because what the fuck are you talking about? What are you saying?
When women are making abortion arguments, they use the word healthcare as a guise for what they
That
want.
doesn't mean that's the only form of healthcare for women. Are you
It's the
okay?
dominant healthcare form.
No, it's not. No, it's not. That's stupid.
Okay, wait. So what is
Women have all sorts of healthcare.
Okay, and what is the second biggest problem then? If abortion is the second biggest problem as far as women's healthcare, what's the first?
Talking about
Okay, you're saying abortion is not the only healthcare for women. What is the number one healthcare for women then? Like the number one healthcare problem? I thought
healthcare
It's not
and
ABs.
problem are two different things, first of all.
It's not
The
ABs.
only form of healthcare for women is AB.
Mo-
That's insane.
More women at PCOS than get. Hold on. Wait, base. More women at PCOS than get ABs.
What did you say?
More women are afflicted with PCOS and fibroids than get ABs.
Okay.
So they would need to go to the doctor for fibroids and PCOS.
I don't even know what this shit is.
Exactly. You don't even know what the fuck.
What are you gonna say next? Oh, I don't know where some weird part of the woman's body is.
Weird part of a woman's body or like a woman's
If I can't
anatomy?
name every single part of the body, I just don't know what I'm talking about, right? Really?
This is
Be a troll.
this is another reason why
It's not trolling. This is not trolling.
he ain't trolling. He's serious. There are men out here that are seriously.
You can't argue, so you just say I'm a troll. That's the sad part because most men do feel this way.
You're nothing to argue because you're not making any claims to argue. You just said the only form of healthcare is AB. What the fuck is that to argue with?
I'll make it so crystal clear. Give me 10 seconds, and I promise you won't have a single argument. Feminism from the start was anti-patriarchal. Women didn't want it. Massachusetts 1895 vote, 4% said yes. Everyone else said no. Fast forward, 1970s, the sexual revolution, acid and orgies. That's how we got our world today. And now, in 2025, we have situationships, Tinder, women on mental health problems. Every girl has bipolar or some fucking disease, STDs, and abortions. You're telling me sex-related problems are not because of feminism that automatically pushes women to be degenerate? Women have become so obsessed with being equal.
It's more than 10 seconds.
Against men.
So men created hookup culture. Men are the ones who are responsible.
No, they didn't. No, men got put into not.
Shut up. You had your 10 seconds. Shut your mouth. Shut up. Also, when you're talking about this vote, back then, it was perfectly legal and acceptable for husbands to beat the ever-loving shit out of their wives. Please do not forget that.
And great.
Feminism is anti-patriarchal. Is it really saying anything? Like,
All right, bro. That's it.
Okay.
because patriarchy is in and of itself oppressive.
Well, okay, it's so vast. There's elements to this. Let me peel back another layer. These feminists want to recreate the garden. Oh, I don't believe in a religion. It doesn't matter. The powers that be and push this shit do. And these feminists,
No, they don't.
The hardcore feminists and the agents want to push this idea of the Garden of Eden. They want to recreate the Garden of Eden but with a feminist lens. That's what it's about. It's about destroying this society and building it up from the ground up. And if you don't know, if you're so ignorant, if you're so arrogant to think that ignorance.
Let's please not talk about ignorance right now.
No.
You
You're
just
so
said,
arrogant that
you
your
just said
ignorance means
destroying the
wrong.
society, right? I'm not going to talk over you. You just said that they want to destroy the society, right? That's what feminists want to do.
Yeah, about what?
The society is already destroyed, and who did that? Who's doing that? The people who, like you say, who built this society, who built the world, it's already being destroyed. So you're talking about feminists want to destroy the society while you turn the other cheek and let men do it. What are you talking about?
The reason society is being destroyed.
The patriarchy has already destroyed society. So what's your point?
The patriarchy built society. The only society that has ever lived has been patriarchy. Oh, well, they had gardens and farming back then. Yeah, but they got destroyed. And I'm not saying it wasn't violence, but that's the way of the world. And you guys just think
society as it is because of patriarchy, and patriarchy has to take responsibility.
no, we've ran away from it.
Blame all of the negative parts of society on feminism, but take credit for all the positive parts and give it to men.
Because we switched about 50 some years ago to not patriarchy anymore.
Then why, if that's the case,
No, that's not dumb.
that's, but wait, based, you're saying stuff and you're not providing any evidence for it, right? You say we switched, and I asked you already, what institution do women control in this country? And you have yet to name one. You tried to say the Department of Education. Sir, stop interrupting me. Based, I'm not asking you a question. You already tried to answer it and you failed.
You're lying.
I'm not lying. You tried to say it was the Department of Education, to which we all know men run it. Look at what just happened. They just fired fucking half of the Department of Education. Who did that? If women run it, then who did it? Who creates a curriculum? Not women. Men created that curriculum. Bill, what's his name? Bill Gates did that whole stupid ass fucking weird math he put in. Like, Bill Gates did that shit, bro. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, you're just making up stuff. Nothing you're saying could be substantiated. All you're doing is randomly bringing up arbitrary little factoids to act like you have any semblance of an education on these topics. You don't know anything you're talking about. Nothing. You never read any literature on this. You never read that book you talked about. You never graduated from college. You don't have a girlfriend. You are a fucking liar. Like, let's just be real, bro. Like, the truth is out there now. You can take that as you want to. You are lying through your teeth. Stop it. I can tell a liar a mile away when we have these discussions. If you knew this stuff, you would be able to substantiate your claims. When I say that the system is ran by men, I'll literally point to the leaders in each system and tell you, look, men run this. Look who runs it.
I'm not lying, you're lying.
Okay, go ahead, Ben. Siren said, I blame Bush for based. We're Luciferian ladies. Go ahead, Ben.
What's up, guys? I was just brought up here, so I guess I'm here to speak, defend base and the red pill.
Well, you got to do it without base because Sarah just paid to drop him. She said, decenter women, base. Bye-bye. All right, go ahead. We listening.
Yeah, I'm just here to defend the red pill, I guess. I was just brought up.
Yeah. Why would you want to defend the red pill? What do you find good about the red pill?
I don't think that masculinity should be demonized.
Why not? What's good about masculinity?
We protect women.
No, we don't. Who do you protect women from? In theory.
We protect women from bad men.
Okay, so from men. Okay. So how can men be the predators and the protectors?
How can men be the...
Yeah, you don't have to repeat the question. You heard what I said. Don't think, don't stall. How can men, you just said it out your own mouth, that we have to defend women from men, right? We men, us quote unquote good men, got to defend women from quote unquote bad men, right? Okay, cool. So how can we as a group, as a collective, be both the predators and the protectors? That doesn't make sense. Now, individually, you can say me being, I try to protect women, which I don't believe, but I'm just saying, you can say that, right? And I would go, okay, cool, whatever. Then I can say, I protect women individually, cool, okay. But as a group, as a collective, there are more men actively causing women harm than there are men protecting women. That's just the reality based on the facts.
I'm going to disagree there. There's not more men causing harm.
Okay, now,
Someone starts beating on a woman, men are going to come protect.
then no, that's not true. That's just a lie.
How is that a lie?
Family member, that's not their business. They don't know what she said or did to him first. They gotta make it known to their family. They ain't gonna do shit.
The police don't even protect women when they getting beat on, brother.
Yes, they do.
They don't. 40%. Hold on. 40% of police have admitted themselves. They have admitted to DVing their women. 40% of police have admitted to it. So you're not making any sense.
DVing their women.
Yes, 40% of police officers have admitted to DVing their own women.
I don't know how you can have that statistic.
They did it. See, you're having the same problem. You're having the same problem that the other dude had. Base. You don't read about this stuff, and you just say stuff that feels good to you.
Single thing,
huh?
I'm not gonna have statistics on every single thing.
Well, I don't either, but I have a lot of statistics and I have a lot of evidence to substantiate my claims. Do you?
I can find the statistics agreeing with the majority.
No. No, what I'm saying is, instead of you retroactively trying to find statistics to support what he's saying, where are the statistics at? Like, have you read them? I'm not even telling you to give me to cite the source necessarily. I'm saying, what claims did he make that you can verify based on something that you have read? That's what I want to know. You state the claim, and then you give me the verification. Like, that's it.
See, man, we can't do this. We can't bring everything here to a statistic.
See, so just, hold on, Ben. It's okay for you to say, I don't really know. I just feel like this. I just want you to be honest. Just say you feel like this.
Through my view of the
yeah,
world.
This is how you feel. Your view, aka how you feel. That's what I'm saying. I'm okay with that. But I want us to be clear about what's happening right now. You feel this way, right? This is what you feel like, correct?
I know men built the city.
Hold on. I'm not at, see, this is how I know you're not being honest.
I am being
You're
honest.
not. Okay, be honest.
I cannot say that that's not true.
Hold on. That is a straw man, because I'm not even trying to go there right now. What I want you to acknowledge right now, because it's important, just before we continue, this is just how Ben feels. You don't have anything to substantiate these claims as of right now. It's just how you feel, correct?
It's not a feeling.
It's just how you feel, Ben. Quote unquote, your worldview, aka how you feel, correct? It's just how you feel. That's all I want to establish.
Hold on, I'm sorry. This girl just called me. I missed I didn't hear what you said. Say it again.
I've been saying the same thing. It's just based on how you feel. That's it.
So there's no proof that men built the laws that protect them.
Sir, that is a moot point. We'll discuss that after we establish the fact that you are just telling me how you feel. And I just want to say, it's okay to feel a certain way. I'm okay with you feeling like that. But it's important for you to understand this is just how you feel. That's why I'm hammering this home. Because I feel like if you understand this is just how you feel, then there's a chance that if we have a rational, logical discussion, right, rooted in some, facts and information and data or whatever, that possibly your worldview can be changed. But if you're not going to acknowledge that and all you want to do is argue, then it's pointless, right? It's an exercise in futility.
Mm-hmm. There is proof that men gave women the right to vote in 1928.
You don't give women the right to vote. They restricted women's right to vote to begin with. You don't give people rights. You can only restrict them.
Because they weren't going to.
Hold on. Why do you guys never take time to process the shit that was just said? Your instinct is to start to argue. Listen, you don't give people rights, you restrict them. That's it. You can only restrict rights. You can't give people rights. They already have the rights. You can cut them off, but you can't give a person a right. The rights are already exist.
Okay, so should someone have the right to vote that will not defend the decision?
Say what? Should people have the right to vote?
Someone have the right to vote that cannot defend the decision. You're right.
What?
Restricted.
What are you talking about? Should they have the right to vote?
He's saying that if they aren't willing to go to war, should they be able to vote?
Yes.
Women go to war. Next question.
I'm talking.
Have you been to war, Ben?
1928.
Have you been to war?
No, I have not.
Okay. Do you have the right to vote?
Yes.
How old are you, Ben? How old are you?
I'm 32.
You're too old for the draft.
I'm not too old for
You are too old for the draft. You want to bet? See, you don't even know. You don't know shit about the draft. So why bring it up? You don't know anything about it. You want me to tell you how old you are? How old you don't know the age range for the draft? How old do you think the draft goes up to? To your fucking 50? You know it stops at a certain age, right? And you're well beyond that age. So you're not, sir, if they have a draft, you're not getting drafted. So your vote shouldn't count either, right?
Previous to 1928.
Sir, listen to what I'm saying. Based on your dumbass based on your illogic, men past the age of 25 shouldn't have the right to vote. Because you've never been to war. Most of us have never been to war. Most men haven't. And we won't be drafted. So based on your logic, the only voting block should be 18 to 25-year-old men. That's what I'm saying, based on your logic, just so you know, because you don't know shit about the draft.
You need to stay on point here, my brother.
I'm on point.
Previous to 1928.
Wouldn't make sense because most men didn't go to war. Most men didn't get drafted. So should they have not voted? It doesn't matter.
How does that not happen?
Everything could happen, but the probability that they would get drafted into war was very, very low. So should they only have the right to vote? First of all, none of this, it doesn't matter about drafts. At the end of the day, if you are a citizen in a country, you should have a say-so in the people that's going to run your country, whether you're going to fight a goddamn war or not.
What do you think? What do you think is more important, Ben? Giving birth or going to war?
I think they're both equally important.
No, they're not, because we don't need war.
It's going to happen.
It's not going to. It doesn't have to happen. See how dumb that is? Say, Ben, stop trying. Ben, I promise you, right? You can argue with your girlfriend like that all day long. I don't care. But here you have to make sense. In this space, you have to make sense. You're not making sense. Saying war is inevitable doesn't make sense. That's dumb, right? Does war need to happen is the question. Do we need for wars to happen is the question. Do you need for them to happen?
There is no need.
There's no need for wars. Okay, to further humanity, right? Are wars good for humanity? I'll ask another question. Even if they do happen, are wars good for humanity?
Of course, they are not good for humanity.
Okay, so wars aren't good and they're not needed. Now, let's flip that around. Giving birth to children.
Acknowledge my point also that they will happen.
No, I don't believe in, sir. I don't believe in the idea that wars will happen, right? Not to say that they haven't been happening. I'm saying that because that's irrelevant to me. That's defeatist, right? To be like, they will happen is basically saying there's nothing we can do about it, which we all know isn't true. That's what I'm saying. So I don't buy into that idea at all. We can definitely stop wars.
And you're not buying into.
I'm in reality. Reality is wars don't need to happen. That's reality.
Men were protected. So why are you saying it's inevitable that basically because of men, we will go into wars that will unalive women and children around the world? So are y'all the protectors or are y'all warmongers? I mean,
Do you see the argument you're making? I'm sorry, your name is
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans. Do you see the argument you're making? So if a man, let's say you and I are together, a man breaks into the house and I unalive that man, does that make me a bad person?
That's irrelevant.
Yeah.
You said that makes me a bad person for protecting.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. What's your point?
That doesn't make any sense.
What is the likelihood?
You're not just protecting me because somebody broke into my house. That's not the same thing as going to war. What is more likely to happen is you went and took somebody out of their house, made them homeless, starved them to death, and then I was next door, so they came over there to try to look for food in my house, and then you unalived them and played the hero. That's what war is.
Damn, that kind of is exactly what war is. Also, Ben, what is the likelihood that somebody is going to break into your house while you and your wife are there?
Probably about the same chances of a war happening.
No.
Very slim.
A war happening, or you going to war?
A war happening. I'm just saying they're slim.
Yeah, it's slim and none. Okay. What is more likely to happen? You harm your wife, or you harm the woman, or anybody, not even just you. A man harms his wife, or some random person off the street breaks into their home and harms the wife.
I harm a woman, or someone breaks into a
It don't have to be you, because I already know you're gonna say, well, I wouldn't do. Okay, fine. But men, right? A man, you have a man and a wife. They live together. What is the likelihood? Like, who is the most likely person to harm that woman? A stranger or the man? The man that's in the home.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, well, if we're gonna make this argument, because I know what you're trying to make an argument that the man is more likely. The man.
I mean, that's not. It just answer the question. You don't have to try to figure out what it is. Just answer the question.
Okay, fine. The man that lives with them. But
okay.
There's your studies. You're gonna want to bring up studies. There's a bunch of studies saying domestic violence. DV goes both ways.
That's a deflection. Also, when you say it goes both ways, meaning there are some women who participate in DV, absolutely. When both ways would sends a signal that is equal when it's not even close. Men are far more abusive towards women and children than women are towards men and children. But so with that being said, wouldn't it make the most sense for the man himself to be safe, right? Not him to be a protector like the red pill teaches. It would be for that man to be safe. If you wanted to get, what I'm saying is if you wanted to give that woman the best chances of survival and safety, right? As the man, or as a, just whatever, how the system plays out, what would give her the best chances? Her being with a man that is, I guess, capable of protecting her from external threats, or a man that he himself is not interested nor would ever harm her himself.
I don't think I understood what you just said.
What would you, if you wanted to create the most safe circumstances for a woman, would you want her in a home with a man that's a threat to the woman, or would you want her in the home with a man that's not a threat to the woman? He's safe himself.
Who would be with a man that isn't? Who would willingly be with a man that is not safe?
Most women are with men that aren't safe for them. Most men aren't safe for women. You're definitely not safe for women. Like, you are a red flag, a walking red flag. Like, if any woman in her right mind, Ben, I promise you, if any woman in her right mind comes across this conversation that we're having right now, right, and you let her, like, I swear to God, like, this shit is on YouTube. What I want you to do, I want you, anytime you're dating a woman, I want you to play this clip for her, like, of you on here right now, and then ask her honest assessment of you. Like, say, like, see, like, what do you think about me? How do you think? Because it's not me, because you're gonna think I'm lying and I'm just whatever. Okay, cool. Ask a perfect stranger that doesn't know me, right? So she wouldn't favor anything, and you've already talked to her or whatever. Say, I have something to show you. Like, I had this experience. I was on this live. I just, just watch this. What do you take from this about me? What picture does this paint about me?
Well, hopefully they'll realize that I've never put my hands on a woman. So
that doesn't make you, that's not the only way for you to be unsafe, which further proves that you are unsafe for women, because you think the only way for you to be unsafe is by putting your hands on a woman. There are many ways to be unsafe for women. Many ways.
Can you describe them?
Huh?
You describe them?
Yeah, emotionally abusive, financially abusive.
You could be a cheater.
Mm-hmm. Many ways.
I don't think that.
Be verbally abusive.
What?
Abuse,
To what?
but I don't think cheating a man.
Cheating is abusive.
Okay.
That
What-
would make you unsafe.
What,
That's
what,
one of the most unsafe things that you can do to a woman.
what do you think emotional abuse is?
I don't believe that you guys can just hold a negative on everything I'm saying. You have to agree that
Hold
there's
a
some
negative.
truth to what I'm saying.
Why?
Not
If you're lying through your teeth, why would I agree? If you're uninformed and or being disingenuous, why would I have to agree to anything you're saying? And why are you fighting so hard to get us to agree with anything you're saying when you haven't, sir? Everything I'm telling you is correct. Everything Shannon said to you is correct. So why are you fighting us? Why are you trying to get us so bad to buy into your bullshit? Like, why do you need that?
It is not. Everything that I've said is not incorrect.
What isn't incorrect?
I said that men, from the beginning of the arguments,
Men don't protect women. Yep. I've already blown that up 1,000 times because men are the ones most likely to harm women. So you can't be the predators and the protectors. Moving on, right? So that was bullshit. Keep going. I don't know how you can't connect that dot logically. That doesn't make any sense. Are white people, Ben, do you believe in racism? Do you believe racism is still a problem in this country and in this world, but in this country?
Of course I do.
Okay, cool. White people fighting wars all around the globe. Would you call white people the protectors of black people in this country?
Would I call white people the protectors of black? No.
No. Okay, cool. Why not?
Because it's not their responsibility.
No. It is because we're in their country. Why wouldn't it be their responsibility to protect us? What are you talking about? That doesn't make sense. Logically, you're not. That's illogical. That doesn't make sense. But
Yes, it does. What?
how does that make sense?
Does a white person have to protect me?
Are we not their countrymen?
Okay, so then they owe us some type of financial equality, but that is not
What?
a.
What are you talking about, sir?
Physical being.
Sir, you brought up war, right? You brought up war, not me, because y'all always talk about war. You brought up war. I'm saying, based on that logic, right? I'm a citizen. I'm their countryman. They're my countrymen. We're connected, yada, 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 right? I'm saying white people fight in wars, and they go around the globe fighting in wars. Are you telling me that as a black man, you classify that as white men protecting black people? That's what I'm asking you.
I believe they are doing something. Okay.
This is why I don't everything you say. This is why I say everything you're saying is bullshit. Tonight just said, stop pussy pocket watching, bitch. I think that was for based. Or who that was, I don't know who that was for. Felicia said, why do he hate women? He clearly needs help. Flower said, get Mr. Paste out of here. He's gone, y'all. Juniper said, he's trying to get you banned. Drop him. Hold on. We read all of these. Blair said, get Elliot Roger out of here. Marsha P said, he's trying to get the live man on TikTok. Damn, y'all was on that. Bum Misha said, put this man on a list. He is a danger to the others. All these men are dangerous. It's crazy. Submissive Provider said, STDs are a thing because men were diddling the farm animals. Jesus H. Christ. Cry said, this motherfucker just saying anything, and I hate that for us on his head. That's 5 on that boy head. Bum Misha said, proving that men's opinions shouldn't be validated. Teresa said, ask the idiot what the counterpart to femicide is. What is the counterpart to femicide? Oh, he dropped? Damn. To Nigel said, you're a dummy, bitch. He dropped, y'all, just so you know. Go ahead, Rich. Yep.
Come on, Bob.
What's up?
Come on, Bob. All right. Okay, so.
Hey, the Brits got it bad, man. I just finished watching Adolescence. That shit did something to me. I was like, damn, I knew Red Pill was bad in America, but it's going ham in England, though, man. It's going ham in the UK. Y'all wilding over there, man. Go ahead, brother. I'm listening.
Okay, so I'm going off of your prompts now.
Mhm.
I'm looking at the red pill list, right?
Mhm.
And obviously, I'm going to have to interpret some of them because some of them are a little bit unfair, right? So the first one says, being buff. So basically, being strong and healthy, right, is what it's teaching people.
Nope.
Right?
Being buff does not equate to health.
Yeah, but let's say being strong.
But I just say being fit. I'm just saying like the idea of being fit versus the idea of being confident. Because you could be fit and not be confident. You could be buff and not be confident. But ultimately, what women like, right? What women like about men the majority of the time is that they like our confidence, not our hubris, not our ego. They like our confidence, right? And working out often gives men confidence, right? That's a good part about working out. But you can be confident without working out. See what I'm saying?
Okay. But at the same time,
that's what I be saying. I'm like, y'all, the men's not listening. They ran a poll. They said, is he safe? About what's his name? Ben. They said, fuck no, 100%. That was crazy. I ain't never seen 100 before. All right, go ahead. I'm listening.
So, all right, cool. So we can both agree that being strong is a plus. It's a good thing, right?
No. Being strong is not a plus or a negative.
Being for one, it extends your life anyway. So
no, it doesn't.
Kind of is for you. Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
It does. So if you're physically fit and you work out, right, providing you do it in a healthy way.
That's cardiovascular.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Rich. Let me be more clear. Because I think I know what you're saying, right? I know that's what I'm saying. Like being like a gym bro is not healthy. That's what I'm saying. Like,
what does that mean? What does that even mean?
Being like a gym bro, like taking a bunch of fucking supplements, trying to get gains, quote unquote, counting your macros and your micros and eating 10,000 calories a day. Like that shit is not healthy.
First of all, that's a very specific way of doing things. There's no subscription to how you get stronger and fit. I know. I'm saying, but and that's why I want to specify what I was talking about. Stretching is working out. Jogging is you know what I mean? Jogging is working out. Push-ups, pull-ups, you know what I mean? All these things are working out and they make you fit. Doing air squats, doing air jumps, cycling, rowing, all these things, right? Walking, all these things, right? Walking burns just as many calories as jogging, right? So, you don't, and it makes you strong. Cardiovascular exercise and whatnot. I walk my dog all the time. I'm saying that that's fine and that's within reason, right? What I'm talking about, though, is the idea, because this is what the red pill pushes. Stay in the gym, work out, get buff, and the women will come, right? Is that not what they push? Let's be real. I can imagine. I don't really.
Come on, brother.
Subscribe or watch. I don't watch Red Pill.
Come on, brother. You ain't even got to subscribe to Red Pill to know that. That's what men say in general.
Okay, fine. And there's truth to that. I can tell you that for a fact. There's a lot of truth to that.
There's truth to what?
To the statement that people who work out and look good draw a lot of more women.
Can I ask you a question? Before you started working out, would you say you had more or less confidence in yourself?
A lot less.
You had a lot less confidence. Now you have more confidence. Could it be that that's the thing that attracts women is your confidence and not your physique?
No, because absolutely not. Because where would the confidence come from? It comes from the way the world responds to you when you work out and when you look great. That's where the confidence comes from.
That's not it.
I'm telling you for a fact. You're asking me about the journey of confidence in my journey, and I'm telling you from my experience, that's where it comes from.
So did you do a survey on people in terms of how they responded to you?
He's just asked me a question, and I'm telling you. I don't need to do a survey.
Okay, so that might apply to you, but it's not in general. It's
he
not
asked me
because
about me.
of the person.
No,
but in general, that might apply to you only, which is anecdotal. But overall, people who are working out and fit and healthy, it does. If it gives them confidence, that's the part that's the sexiest part.
not the body type, because men of all sizes have
that's
all.
not true.
It's true.
Not true.
Men of all sizes have girlfriends. Dad bods have girlfriends. You know, short guys
but look
have
at their
girlfriends.
girlfriends. Look
What's
at
that?
their girlfriends. Look at their girlfriends. All girlfriends are not the same. Someone who's short or dad bod or whatever, look at the general quality. Look at the girlfriends compared to the ones.
So you're just basing this on physical,
On what?
physical
Exactly on
looks.
what you've seen?
I mean, this is common sense. Like,
This is not. Hold on. Don't say that. Don't hide behind that. It's not. Common sense is not the phrase you think it is either. But it's not that, right? You are judging other people's spouses based on their physiques and not who they are as people. So when you say, look at them, what does that mean?
That's all we've got.
That's not all we got. That's all you have. That's not all we have, though.
No, I'm saying that's all we've got to go on. Right?
That's not true.
We've got to go on.
That's why I don't make, sir, if that's all I have to go on, that's why I wouldn't use that as a fucking barometer for any of this. It wouldn't be a.
That's basically you're saying. You can see that there's a difference in the way they look, and I think one group of people are winning because they have women that look like this, and the other group is losing because they have women that look like that.
I didn't say winning or losing. I didn't.
Yes,
The point
you
that was
did.
made. No,
That's what you
listen.
lied.
No, I said the point that was made is, it doesn't matter what you look like because everybody, all types of people have girlfriends. Okay, but not all girlfriends are the same. Not all
Exactly. You said,
girlfriends
but
are
look
the same.
at their girlfriends. But look at their. You didn't say listen to them. You didn't say read with them. You said look at them.
Come on, listen to them and read with them. That's ridiculous. That's
okay.
ridiculous.
So what Public just said was true, right? You're judging it based solely off looks.
If I don't know the person, what else am I going to judge of?
My point is, you shouldn't judge him. That's my point. If all you have to go on is how they look, then you shouldn't judge them.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
That's how you see things. I see things differently.
Yeah, because you're superficial.
And that's why y'all now in your head and then turn into ridiculous because you're looking at them. That's all you do.
We're supposed to. That's what looks are for.
No.
We're supposed to look at.
Rich,
I think we're digressing anyway because I really wanted to.
Okay, hold on. Let me read this, and then I want you to go. April said, most cases of violence against women are committed by men women are romantically involved with. It's less likely to be some random stranger. Yeah, exactly. All right, go ahead, Rich.
So, right, I think so. Being strong, as far as I'm concerned, is a good thing. Being rich is a good thing. Being a protector is a good thing, and certainly being masculine is a good thing, right? So, but what I notice about that list and the red pill narrative in general is that it puts accountability on men to be better, right?
No,
whether it's being buff, being rich, being a protector, or being masculine, they are saying you need to earn the things. Not the good woman,
no,
whatever it is.
It teaches
doing those things.
Sorry.
No,
Hold on.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rich. I'm sorry, brother. I interrupted you. My bad.
It's saying it's putting the onus and the accountability on us guys to be better in these ways in order to earn ourselves, a good woman or whatever, right? Whereas lives like this, all they do is blame everything on men and say to the women, "There's nothing wrong with you. It's all men's fault." And it is kind of. It is. This is what I mean. So can you see the difference between the two?
I mean, you're talking. See, if you want it, but here's the thing, though. Here's the problem that I be having is like, who do you listen to, Rich? Because who do you want to listen to? You want to listen to successful men, or do you want to listen to non-successful men? If we're talking about women in healthy relationships, wouldn't you want to listen to a man that is in a healthy relationship? If you want to talk about being successful, don't you want to talk to a man that's actually successful? Like, that's the thing. This is how I know you guys are you guys are like walking contradictions. Because hold on, Rich. When a successful married man in a happy, healthy relationship is telling you what it's actually like and what it takes to maintain a happy, healthy relationship, you dismiss it. You think I'm like I'm lying all of a sudden. I'm like, bro, I'm proof. I'm living proof. What proof do you have that what you're saying actually works? You see what I'm saying? Where's your proof? I'm living proof. Where's your proof?
But I think you know what the problem is.
They want a certain aesthetic. Like what those men are telling them is going to grant them a certain aesthetic, a certain type of woman.
Yeah.
And that's what they're looking for, not a healthy relationship. And then they're going to get that aesthetic of a woman, and they're still going to be unhappy. They're still going to be miserable, and then they're going to complain that all they're gold diggers and they're just taking your money above. It's a vicious cycle that's meant to repeat itself.
Yep.
The other thing is, Rich, all of what red pill say about what men want comes from other men. This isn't a survey that's done and asked women's opinion, because what we want in a partner, yes it is, I'm telling you, what we want in a partner.
Hold on, let her finish.
Let her finish. What we want in a partner, a boyfriend or a husband or whoever, is very different to what red pill tell men that women want. You need to listen to women about what women are actually looking for in order to attract women. And men, the red pill men, don't listen to what women are saying. It's not just about your money. You have to be emotionally confident, emotionally secure. So that would include not bothering about body count, not being controlling, not trying to domineer women or not listen to women. None of that stuff is attractive, but red pill tells men that it is. That's not what we're looking for.
I have a question for you. I have a question. I have a question for you real quick.
Yeah.
What, as a woman,
Mm-hmm.
what would you prefer? Because this is the one they love bringing up. What would you prefer? Would you prefer a rich, abusive man, right? I'll be more specific. Would you prefer a rich, stingy, neglectful man, right? But you get all your house paid for and your food paid for, you know what I'm saying? But everything else, you got to fucking beg him to pay attention to. You got to beg him to, spend time with you, whatever, right? Cool. Or would you rather have, and also he doesn't help you with anything in the house. So if you guys have kids together, he's not showing up for the kids. He's not very little, right? Or would you rather have a man that makes around the same amount of money as you, but he's financially secure, right? But he shows up for you. He's an equal partner. He participates in a relationship the best he could. He listens to you. You know what I mean? He pays attention. You don't gotta, it ain't like pulling teeth.
There's no contest.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
An emotionally available man who is aware of what my needs are, what the children's needs are. I'm okay with a dad bod. I'm okay with someone who's not 6'6".
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy with a decent human being. That is a priority for me.
Mm-hmm.
And when I talk to other women, because women are around other women, we listen to what other women are saying. It's variations of that. And it has nothing to do with how strong they look, how tall they are, how much money's in their bank account. Because most of those guys, or guys who follow red pill, don't have their own personality. And they are following rinse and repeat kind of a mantra that doesn't make any sense to anyone out with red pill.
Mm-hmm.
You are not attractive. Red pill men drive vaginas globally.
Yep.
Okay, can I?
Yeah, go ahead. You can respond to that, Rich. So, but I just real quick though. But you hear what she said. You hear what Chan said. Do you think they're lying about that? Do you think they actually would prefer, with that scenario? You think they would take the rich man over the well-adjusted, working class man?
Well, no. If they say they wouldn't, then they wouldn't. But two things. First of all,
okay,
you gave them a very, very specific set of circumstances. There's nothing about being red pill that says you have to be stingy. In fact, the concept of protecting and providing means that you're not stingy by definition.
They never talk about it though. They never talk about that, Rich.
But they never talk about being stingy to you.
They do though. They do. They do, Rich. They talk about how to control women within the red pill community financially. They talk about it.
Come on, man.
I'm not making up shit, bro. I don't need to make up anything about red pill.
Pause. Rich, didn't you just say when you first came on that you don't follow red pill content?
I don't follow.
He's making up stuff about red pill content, but you don't follow it.
Because I'm okay, fine. I'm going off your own prompts, right?
Okay,
Wait,
fine, I lied.
You do consume red pill content, Rich. It's okay. I don't know why you're acting like you don't.
Okay, let me tell you something. If I consume, do I sound to you like someone who cares what this community thinks? If I consume
Yeah.
red pill,
Yes. Yeah, you've
You sound like you're obsessed with it.
no, I couldn't care less.
Why ask us and then tell us? Like, we're being honest with you. You sound like you're.
While you don't do this, mind you. There are so many red pillars who are so not red pill, but they will come for 3 hours on red pill.
No.
You know why? You know why though? You know why you do that, Rich? And I commend you for this. You are smart enough to know that red pill content is highly frowned upon in polite society. The same way that if I called if the same way, it's like this, bro. The KKK wear masks for a reason. You know what I'm saying? When they take them off, they police officers, they're doctors, they're lawyers, right? But when they put the mask on, they hold terrorists, right? So this is your mask. You're coming up here and you get to say, I'm not a red pillar because I can't prove it, one way or the other. But you come up here and you say all the things red pillars say, and you like Shan just pointed out, you defend all their talking points. So which one is it?
No. Listen, if I follow, trust me, I'm up in this live now. 617 people couldn't care less that I'm probably upsetting all of them. If I followed red pill content, I would tell you I did. I don't follow content. Everything.
I don't think you know if it's red pill content though. I think there might be a chance. With that being said, then there might be a chance you just don't know what red pill content is.
Because I don't follow other people's ideology. I'm just looking.
Of course you do.
I look at society, and I just call bullshit on like I am today.
Well, public was just saying red pillars talk about how to financially abuse women and how to keep money away from them. You said no, they don't. That's specific. That's not your own ideology. You were just speaking for them. While also don't follow their content.
Listen, let me explain, because I explained then. I explained that red pill.
Explain anything because everybody in the comments is calling you out.
I couldn't care less what any of the people in the comments. My logic, which I explained then, was that red pill ideology says provide and protect, right? Providing is not withholding money. Providing is providing. It's the opposite, right? That's my logic.
If you don't follow their content, how would you know that just because they say that they're protectors and providers, that doesn't mean that they use their money to control? Because you can provide for a woman and still use your money to control her. Does logic not tell you that too?
Okay, whatever. Okay, but it's not on. It's
not whatever, Rich. Be a grown man. It's not whatever.
You're not letting me talk. I said I was basing it on Pub's
the prompt.
On Pub's prompt, right? That's what I said when I came in.
Okay.
Right. So again,
because they call themselves providers, you don't think logically they would withhold money from women. How is that logical when as a grown adult man, you can provide for somebody and still use your money to financially abuse them? You know that.
Yeah, you can make sure they have a house.
Maybe you can. I just can't imagine somebody proudly saying, let's withhold and control women. I can't picture somebody proudly saying that. If that's what you say. So they don't.
Why would
even say that? Because you're saying that they do. Apparently, you're saying that's what
they do. They do say it.
Those exact words. Withholding money and financially abusing a woman. They don't use those words.
I'll give you an example of how they. I'll give you an example. Literally, there is a whole movement of men talking about they don't want to pay for dates.
That's not withholding. You mean they're not your. You mean if you're going on a date, then what? 50-50 on a date? Is that what you're suggesting? Is that what
listen to what I'm saying.
Okay,
that's a date. Now. That's just a date. That's just a date. Like, we're just talking about it. We ain't talking about buying a house, paying for cars, paying for health insurance. Just a date. So you expect me to believe that those men, because those are red pill men, you expect me to believe that those men would be sheepish about paying for a date, but they won't be sheepish about buying a house for a woman or paying all of a woman's bills or whatever the case may be. They want to go 50-50 on a date, but when they get to the house, they gonna pay for the. No, that don't make sense.
Yeah, but it does make perfect sense.
Okay.
When they were going on the date, they don't know.
Hold on, let him
they
finish.
don't
Let him finish. Go ahead, Rich.
When you're going on a date with somebody, you don't know them and you don't owe them anything. It's very different to somebody being your partner or your.
What do you mean you
wife
don't
and
owe
your
them
family.
anything? What do you mean by that?
Why would you have to pay for a date? You don't owe them anything,
You-
right? And
yeah,
you don't necessarily, and you don't need to, perhaps they don't want to invest in something that they don't know where it's going to go. They don't know the
Invest.
person. I mean, it's
See, that's a weird. That's very red
no,
pill.
It's not.
That is.
It's not.
Dates aren't investments. Dates
By
aren't
the way,
investments.
just for the record,
That's not an investment.
I never ever go 50-50 on. I've never I always pay. But
That's fine.
I perfectly understand.
Hold on, wait.
I perfectly understand.
So if you go 50, if you don't go 50-50, why are you defending men that do?
Because I understand it. Like, for example, even though I don't go 50-50, there's a limit to what I'm willing to pay for somebody that is just a potential, or I'm just seeing. Because ultimately, when you go on a date, you're trying to get to know each other. You don't need to. And you're potentially going on several dates with several different people. You're looking for a partner, right? So it makes perfect sense. I get it.
Why are you doing that?
And why am I doing what?
That's your fault. My wife hit me to this. My wife hit me to this a long time ago. She was saying, she was like, when you date somebody, like even early on, you should just commit to dating that one person until you don't want to date that person. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. So that would be actually cheaper for you, and you would be able to expedite the process even faster if you found somebody that you liked, right? You like them enough to date them. So why not just date them until you're like, oh, I don't like them anymore, and then be like, hey, I don't like you anymore, and then move on and then find somebody else to date.
I mean, that's fine.
Also, Rich, I feel like having a limit would be fine. Like having a budget. If your limit is based on your budget and what you can afford, I think that's one thing. But saying, oh, I'm not willing to spend X amount of money or this much money because I don't feel like she's earned it or she's worth it, or that's weird. Like,
Very strange.
He's saying you gotta ball out and spend your entire month's salary on a date, but your limit should be based on your budget, not what you feel like that woman deserves. And no, it's not the same thing.
It's pretty much the same thing.
No, it's not. Because no, having a budget means I have $500 to spend on dating for the month. Placing a limit, an arbitrary limit on based on what you think she deserves. Okay, well, this woman, I think she's only worth $100 date.
Different.
This woman, I'm gonna take her on a $50 date.
Well, then what are you saying? Then what are you saying? Hold on, wait. Then what are you saying? If that's not what you're saying, then what are you saying?
You're suggesting adjusting what you're willing to spend dependent on the woman, and I'm saying I didn't say that. Nobody said that, right?
It doesn't matter if you adjust.
Hold on, let him. Hold on, wait. I don't know what he's saying then, because that's what it sounded. What Shan just said is what it sounded like to me. So what are you saying then?
I never said adjusting it according to.
What are you saying then? Just tell me what you're saying.
Look, it may be a principle where I'm not willing to spend a lot of money on like the dating period until she's my partner, until she's until we're committed to each other, and that's perfectly fine. That's
It's perfectly fine from the comments. Like I was saying, that wouldn't make any sense. If you are limiting it because of a budget, that's one thing. But if you're limiting it because you feel like you haven't earned this amount of money yet, that's ridiculous, especially when you want to call yourself a provider. And that's why it really makes no difference if the man is rich or broke, if he has that mentality. Because a man making $70,000 a year might be more willing to spend more money on you than a man making $250,000. Just because he has it doesn't mean he has it for you. And that's why y'all with this just go get some money and you'll get all the women. That's why that doesn't work. Because y'all go get all the money just to be stingy with it. So they tell you to get money to get women, and then you get the money and you don't want to give it to the women.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that drives me is that, or what Rich said, was he said, you know, whether that person is worth it, or they don't want to invest. And again, talking about women as if it's a commodity, as if it's something that you put money into in order to get some return. It's that kind of an expectation that a lot of red pill men have, is that if they have spent like $100 on a coffee date or whatever, then they expect to get £100 back of, I don't know, coochie or kiss it, you know, and it's that kind of a level of entitlement that is so dangerous and so misogynistic, and they don't understand it and they don't hear it themselves. But that's exactly what they're doing. Whatever way Rich has tried to kind of address it up to pretend that it's something else, that's exactly what it is. That if I'm spending this amount of money, then I expect X, Y, and Z. And again, not only just in the dating field, but again, if in a marriage, that mindset is already abusive, because he's saying, well, if I'm providing all the bills, I expect you to be working 24 hours a day. That includes making me a sandwich at 3 a.m, X, Y, and Z. And so you know that it is just, again, a transactional thing and an expectation that's been put onto women because they want to be a provider or a leader. They expect submission. So that is very much an expectation that they have put if they are providing. And so trying to pretend that that's not the case, it's about budgeting, is a lie.
Yeah.
You know, it is purely about them controlling that woman and using money to do it.
Yeah. Maud said, Rich wants confidence but needs validation. That's sad. Nigel said, how are they holding you accountable if they're not blaming you? How does that work? Good question. Nigel said, you think abusers give their victims warnings? They don't. Kill Marys is the one that dropped Rich. He said, I know you fight with Alphabet Soup. Drop. We did it, ho. They got that boy about the paint. Zayna said, thank you, Keon Mary, for getting rid of him. Clarice said, ask Rich, is he on YouTube? Does he do 4X? Is he on YouTube? Does he do 4X? Was the question. I'm sorry. I was trying to get to it, but we was, I was in the thick of it. I did just want to say this before I'm gonna rotate. Let's just be real, man. Y'all got to stop saying y'all not red pill and then saying I agree with all of the red pill talking points. That would make you red pill, by the way. If you don't have to, it's not a gang. You don't have to be initiated. Like, if you say, I think this, I think this, I think this, and I think this, and I'm saying this is the, this is the red pill, you are red pill then. Like, that's the whole point. Like, I'm not understanding how you could even deny that and say, I don't follow people's da-da-da. Of course you do. You don't. Where did you get masculinity from? If you don't follow people's ideology, where did you get masculinity from? You didn't make up the concept of masculinity. You didn't come up with that on your own. You fucking heard that somewhere. You learned that. Nicole said, tell Cha-Cha we love her accent here on YouTube.
Thanks, everybody. I was also asked to say coochie.
Coochie. I saw that. Hey, man. Mm-hmm. You can't never say coochie wrong.
That's why he's peddling that same, like, oh, be buff. And I noticed how he kept trying to make buff being fit. Like, he kept thinking that you were saying, like, don't be fit, which nobody's saying. I think you used the word buff for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, the buff is him. Like, having all them unnecessary ass muscles with them little bitty ass shirts. That's what we mean by buff. And y'all think that that's what you need to do to get women, when really a lot of women, if you ask them, are kind of turned off by that. Like, they think that, because I think why women are turned off by it is because it kind of does scream insecurity. Like, it screams, I have to do something to, like, feel better about myself because I'm insecure on the inside. So it's like I'm trying to be so muscular and buff and quote unquote fit so I can attract more women. But the whole time, women don't really like that. Women don't care for that. And I think it's probably a safety thing, honestly. Like, maybe subconsciously, and I don't know, there's no studies that I've read on this. But like, maybe subconsciously women know that, like, a lot of men use their quote unquote strength to harm us.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like a subconscious. The stronger you look, the more dangerous you look to us. Not to like, oh, he could protect me. Ain't nobody thinking about that. I don't know you.
Mhm.
You just look dangerous.
If you're a smart woman, you thinking, damn, he looks strong. He look like he could hold me down.
Yeah, he could throw me across the goddamn room somewhere.
Uh-huh. And more than likely, stronger, it ain't like the stronger the man, the less likely he is to use that strength against a woman.
Yeah, like them gym bros do not be seeming safe. Like, I don't know who gonna tell them. I mean, they're not gonna listen. But y'all gym bros do not be looking safe to date. Like, I wouldn't want to be alone in a room with y'all.
Yep. Davina, are you there? Are you there?
Hey, hey, chat. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So first of all, I second what Shan just said. Like that gym bro shit. It looks crazy. Y'all be walking around looking like whole mountains, like you just smother a girl in her sleep. Like no. But what I wanted to address was what Cha-Cha had said when she was mentioning like what women want and how men do not listen to women when we talk about what we want. Y'all would rather listen to the red pill dudes, and they're steering you all wrong, right? So I wanted to talk about this because women are basically telling men that we want you to work on your character. We want you to learn those traits. And this has been said many times before. I've heard you speak about this many times before, and they just seem to just not hear it. But maybe if we say it again, right? We want you to work on your character. It's not about how you physically look. It's not about your money. And as far as like physical attraction and money or whatever, you need money to survive in this society. So yes, we do want you to be economically viable. That means we don't want broke dudes, because broke dudes mean struggle love, and we ain't trying to do that struggle love mess no more, right?
Especially when you're not struggling. Like you're not struggling. Why would you want to get into a relationship with a dude just for y'all to be struggling together? Like that don't make sense.
Exactly. So it would be better for men to learn how to have compassion. It would be better for men to learn how to have empathy. It would be better for men to learn how to listen. It would be better for men to really sit with themselves. I think more men do need to be single so that they can sit with themselves and learn these particular traits that make them a better human being. It's not about being a good man. You need to learn how to be a better human being, right? So it's like, I don't, something else I wanted to, Rich, he was saying, like, he had made a mention about how lives like this, talks like this, make it seem like men are responsible for every bad thing. My question to you, Rich, would be, are you familiar with systemic systems, like the problems that systemic systems cause, and how these systemic issues begun? Who started these things? Because it's like, just because you yourself individually may not have had a hand in starting a systemic problem does not mean that you as a man don't A, benefit from it, and B, don't contribute to it, right? So it's like, men really need to stop thinking that the criticisms that we talk about are attacks. They're not attacks. These are things that need to be brought up so that they can be addressed and corrected. That's why we're bringing these things up. So stop being so defensive about everything, being like, oh, you just want to blame men for everything and y'all act like women don't do nothing wrong. On an individual case-by-case basis, yes, we're human. Humans are fallible. We are going to make mistakes and mess up. But on a systemic level, there is no, as far as I know of written history, there is no systemic system that causes harm to a society as a whole or the world as a whole that women as a group has created. Every systemic problem we have in society and in the world has been started and perpetuated by men. That needs to be looked at. I mean, that's all I really came up here to say.
That's facts. Yeah, we definitely that is the point, and that's why it's hard when we have these conversations and men don't want to acknowledge that. I'm like, what are we even talking about? Like trying to act like my life, like it's just hilarious. Acting like my platform is like I started this shit, brother. I just started talking about this shit 2-3 years ago. The problem's been around for 10,000 years. Like, please stop acting like I'm the problem or I'm a part of the problem. I'm not even a part of the fucking problem. I'm talking about the problem, though. The problem isn't necessarily men, like, it's the ideology that men embrace. That's the problem. It's the ideology that men embrace, right? Like, you yourself as a man, you don't have to be a problem. You could be a decent human being if you choose to be. But the problem is we don't want to be decent human beings. We would rather adhere to this these rigid gender norms and gender roles that end up subjugating women, children, and even men in a lot of in most instances, right? Also, that we could make. Go ahead, Shane.
Yeah, the question, as a man, men always say like women have to learn how to like vet better or whatever, and pick better, and bring the man to another man, whatever.
Yeah.
So, like, going back to the provider conversation, how would you suggest a woman know if a man would be a good provider if he penny pinches her on dates? Like, how would she be able to figure that out? Or would she be appropriate to deem him not a good provider and move on?
Yeah. I mean, clearly, like that's what I was saying about the date. Like, that's like the first step in like proving that you're a provider.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. Like, they are saying, I don't know you, I don't have any obligation towards you. Okay, cool, but that's the point of dating, right? We're getting to know each other.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to fill each other out. We're trying to see if it's worth, continue. But if you're already saying you don't feel I'm worth it or I'm valuable enough to spend money on a date, why would I look at you as somebody who would provide for me in the future? I can guess that, like, oh, well, maybe it's because he doesn't know me, and when he gets to know me, he'll be better. But that's taking a gamble. How do I know that?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Why should I take a gamble on you?
I wouldn't. When there are plenty of men that's just gonna pay for the date.
Exactly. Like, if there's men that's already saying, okay, I feel like whatever, I'm a provider, I'm willing to pay for the date, whatever. If I'm looking for a provider, why wouldn't I just take my gamble on him? He too could also.
Yeah, I'm not saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to be clear. I'm not saying that the dude that pays for the date is a provider, but
exactly.
I could.
On the front end,
yeah,
that he's at least willing to do it.
I could almost guarantee you, though, the man not paying for the date isn't a provider. I could all but guarantee you.
Is almost never the provider. Like, let's be for real.
Yeah, real. Every man that has a provider mindset, you're gonna pay for the, like, I don't know any man that's like a provider that would ever. I've never heard them ever talk about like going Dutch with a woman, you know what I mean, or like anything like that. Like,
yeah, it's not an issue.
That's not even a thing. Like,
basically, a woman would look at a man throwing away money on a woman he doesn't know as irresponsible. But again, that just shows that you really don't have a provider mentality, because you see paying for a date as throwing money away on a woman you don't know. Like, this money we talking here? Like, you act like you really spending thousands of dollars on a damn date.
Yeah, and if you're not, and if you aren't interested, how do I say this? It just proves that those men specifically are very transactional, because I've never taken a woman out with the expectation of anything other than taking her out. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only expectation that I have when I take a woman out is that we both have a good time. That's my goal. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my goal, and that's my expectation, for us to have a good time. For us to get to know each other, whatever.
Yeah, so if you feel like you threw your money away, you had other expectations beyond just that weren't met.
Yeah, I'm never taking a woman out on a date thinking like, oh,
like you're doing her a favor. Like,
yeah,
you're not there too, enjoying the damn date. Like, what?
Yeah, I wouldn't. I only go places. I won't say I only go, but definitely early on, I pretty much only go places that like I want to go. You know what I mean? Like I'm like showing you my world. I'm like, hey, since I'm paying, you know, let's go here. And I'm not gonna take you nowhere fucking lame, but I'm saying like, I'm like, hey, I found this cool spot. Let's go here or whatever the case may be. And I'm paying for the date. I don't know. I don't understand. Like, why are you? I won't say I don't understand. I think that's a problem, right? Is the entitlement gets in the way, and men end up expecting something out of the woman, which it changes the whole dynamic of dating to this transactional event, as opposed to it just being like, oh, I'm just gonna go out on a date and I'm gonna get to know this person. And then it's now the whole thing is fucked up. Well, and it always has been, but you know what I'm saying? That thing is all fucked up because men are like, okay, this is an investment. Sir, she is not a stock. It's not an investment. I'm not investing in my children. Like me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like me, I'm not investing in my children. I'm taking care of my children. I'm helping, you know, my children to develop into healthy human beings. I'm not investing into them though. I don't have any expectations of getting anything back from them at any point in time in my life whatsoever. I'm not investing whatsoever. If they take care of me when I get older, if they love me when I get older, hopefully, you know what I mean? I hope that's the case, but I'm not doing it for those reasons, nor do I expect any of that stuff. And I think that's because that would be problematic as a parent to be expecting that, right? The same way I think it's problematic as a man to be expecting that from a woman that you're just going out on a date with. I think that's crazy. Like, what is why are you expecting anything out of her? Why don't you just take her out? You like her enough to take her out. That's all I'm saying. Like, that's the thing I don't understand. I'm like, so you like her enough to take her out. Isn't that enough to pay for the date? You like her enough to want to go out with her. Isn't that that's all you need in my mind? Boom. It's worth paying for the date. Now, if you don't want to go out with her, why would you go out with her? And then I would understand why you wouldn't want to pay for the date. But then why would you go out with her to begin with? You know what I'm saying? Unless she's asking you, if she's begging you to go out, then maybe she pays for the date. Fine, go out. That's why it happens all the time. Women ask men to go out and men say, all right, cool. And they pay for the date. It happens, right? But if you are asking her, you're pursuing her in a conventional scenario, why are you like, that's weird. Like, I don't understand. Like you're pursuing her and then talking about what did he say? What oh God, I wish I could remember how he said. He was like, not that she owed him. He was like, oh, man, I can't remember what he said. But it was just weird. Like his whole outlook on dating is just crazy. And then saying like, oh, I don't pay for dates. I mean, I don't go 50-50 on dates, but then saying like, oh, I understand why men wouldn't want to pay. Is why wouldn't men want to pay? I don't understand that at all. You want a woman to like you. Let me wrap my brain around this. You want a woman to like you. Last time I checked, that's a point of you going on a date, right? You want her to like you. So how can you rationalize not paying for the date? Because that would make her like you more or less. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not understanding. You want her to like you. I'm not saying you're trying to buy her affection. I'm just saying you don't want to give her a reason to not like you. And that would give her a reason to not like you. That's all I'm saying. So why not just do the things that don't give her a reason to not like you? That's like bare minimum shit. Pay for the date.
I think what gives her a reason to not like you is the like making her like asking her out, wanting to go out with her, and then making her feel like she has to earn that time with you.
Yeah.
That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. Like, I've never asked a man on a date before personally.
Mm-hmm.
Every date I've been on, he asked me to go. So if you sitting there with this attitude of like, okay, so now tell me why you deserve this date. Nigga, you invited me. I'm here. Like, I can go home right now. What are you talking about?
That shit is wicked. Also said, men need to see women as human beings. Until that happens, they would continue to be lonely. As a neurodivergent woman, I literally cannot force myself to pair with a male. It makes me physically ill. And y'all got the women's feeling ill out here. Davina, I'm sorry. You want to say something real quick? I'm about to rotate. I got some people in the queue.
Oh no, I was just saying, I second what Shan said.
I'll bet.
Like, it's very weird to be talking about, women need to earn this, that, and the third, and you're the one who asked to spend time with her. Like,
Super odd. Super odd. But hey, I appreciate you coming up. Yeah, very, very, very weird indeed. Very, very strange times we're in. Very strange times we're in. Let's see if Onyx is gonna pop up. Onyx, your thing is buffering or whatever you want to call it. Teacupping. If that's what it's called, I don't know what to call it. I don't think she in there anymore. Yeah. Hey, y'all, let's keep tapping. Let's get the likes up real quick. Definitely share the live out if you haven't already. Yeah, that's why I laughed. I was like, teacupping. No, that's not a nasty term. Teabag is a nasty term. Teabagging. Teacupping ain't a nasty term. But it did sound weird. I did chuckle because I'm a child on the inside. I ain't gonna lie, I'm immature. I ain't gonna lie. Anastasia, what's good with you?
hey, oh my God, I finally made it up here.
Hey, you made it.
You are amazing. Like, I cannot appreciate you enough for spreading this word. I know it is heavy as heck because I just broke up with somebody who is literally like so many of these men on this doggone live.
Damn.
You can speak reason to them and they do not hear it. They don't know how to listen to understand. And they just, are literally just trying to split hairs to infinity and beyond rather than actually take a look in the mirror and like review themselves or look at like their logical fallacies and stuff. And I just, I really, a lot of your points I did bring up into some arguments. So I appreciate you kind of backing me in those. Like, but he would act like he had a provider mentality kind of thing, but he was just so toxic and emotionally abusive. Like literally, I just needed him to help me on something recently. This was kind of the reason for the breakup. And he was doing the exact same thing, splitting hairs. He gaslit me. And he tried to tell me because he did it so overtly that it was a joke. And like he literally didn't have to pay for anything. My car was messed up and he just dragged me through hell and back to just give me the rides. And it was for my dog, who's like my fur child because I don't have any kids.
Nice.
But literally just needed to give me the ride and still was like holding it over my head. The fact that we had to go was just absolutely miserable. Like I can't say enough. You can't get through to them. So I appreciate you trying to spread this out there.
No worries. So he you needed help because your car was broken down, and then he was just like not being like nice about it. He just every time he would have to do it, he would act like it was like a burden.
That would be kind for what he did. Like I had to literally explain human decency to this man. Like it was insane. I was dumbstruck. Like I was like, is this real life right now? Like literally, the first visit I had to basically construct the equivalent of a court case to convince him that we needed to go to the emergency vet, which my vet had told him or had told me, and he was like insisted on wanting to talk to them. What exactly did they tell you verbatim? This, that, and the third. And then okay, we go to the ophthalmology appointment, which was 2 and something hours away. Okay, I'll cop that. But it's like he was acting like he was paying for this stuff because he liked to pay for stuff and then get mad at me for needing him. But basically, he was talking down to me about the whole thing of needing the visits. And then it was also like, I was literally trying to figure out like how to move my money around and get the stuff covered. Like, I was like, don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
And then he made an odd flex to tell me how much he had in his bank account. No relevancy whatsoever because he was not trying to pay for anything. And I was like, okay, that was interesting. And just kept like trying to basically get the reasons for everything. We finally go there. And when we're coming out from the vet visit, the second one, he literally was like,
that's why I told you we didn't need to go to the first one. And I'm like, the money is spent. We already went. And like, what is the point? But he was basically talking down to me and just flexing his money and stuff the whole time. And I asked him, he tried to gaslight me and basically say he wasn't talking down to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, do you feel that you're speaking to me caringly? Do you feel that you're speaking to me with compassion at this time? And then I got him to admit no, but it went absolutely freaking nowhere.
And
that was just a
and that's what prompted the breakup. That was like the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, like it was like 3 times of that. It was just so similar to all the stuff that you've been touching on. It was just like the red pill rhetoric, but he got me kind of similar to some of your other videos where it was like he acted like he was so interested in women's issues, like he actually cared. Like
how would he do that? Like what would that look like?
Yeah, so that would look like he would express how he felt like people who were abusive, of course physically, that those were so bad. And yes, it's messed up, like just random women's topics. I forget recently, because this is very recently, like I'm talking 13th through the 15th, I was literally just like going through it with him, just verbally kind of being really, really abusive. And then, but he would say like, I don't know, he would just kind of present understanding on certain aspects as far as women being physically abused, that, you know, certain how laws impact women. Like he would kind of speak on those things like he understood, but then at the same time, he would also use my vulnerabilities against me.
Yeah.
And like arguments, because I've been in abusive relationships. I've been in, you know, emotionally and physically. And he would kind of give that argument of like, oh, well, you know how to choose them kind of thing, or stuff like that, which would have been, you know, a turning point for me. I don't even know, in this delusion, this man. But he basically like would seem caring on issues. Like we had an issue. I was working at a bar, long story short, this dude I was involved with there was very emotionally volatile, and he ended up doing something to another girl after I broke stuff off with him. Like, I think he may have raped her.
Oh, shit.
Stuff. And yeah, it was And so he was very, you know, vocal and adamant, you know, believing women and, you know, all of these different things. But then I would see later, it's like, oh, you only kind of believe in like the physical abuse or like these little aspects, but then it's fine for you to emotionally abuse someone or financially abuse someone. And like, yeah, I don't know. It's such a whirlwind of that whole relationship. Is crazy.
How long were you guys together?
So we dated for a year, and then he just came back, and I'm like, I'm moving that boundary to we ain't going back ever again. But he came back, and I think it was about maybe 6 months in this thing, which was silly, but so I guess a year and 6 months would be the overall. But the return relationship was like 6 months, and I was like, oh, absolutely not. And a lot of it was just like crazy logic. Like he was trying to project onto me that like all dating is like transactional, because he hated that he would pay for a bunch of stuff. And then, which don't get me wrong, he spent a good little bit of money, but he's an entry-level engineer. I think he's still straight, you know?
Yeah.
And he's living with his parents now. So
okay. He got a lot of extra money.
You know, oh, okay, exactly. And what was crazy, I don't know if you can make sense of this, but so I called him and broke up with him just real quick. I think he was trying to push me out the door. Okay, bet I got out. But then he sent me money that was like basically the equivalent of what I paid in vet bills, maybe a little bit over.
Okay.
And then he asked for my Crunchyroll though, which was also, so I don't know if it was a lead into that or what, but I just thought that was an odd exit.
Wait, is your Crunchyroll your vagina?
No. It's the anime streaming app.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what? I was like, damn, I was like, the kids call it vaginas crunchy rolls now. That's wicked.
Please.
I didn't know. I thought he was like on the way out trying to get some, you know what I'm saying? Some on the way, little to go bag.
So expensive. Yeah, literally like $8 maybe or something like that. But it's like he lived with me. So that first year, he was living up under me. And he was literally living in my place, but I was working 2 jobs. Came home, I would cook for him sometimes or like prep some stuff, and he'd be playing the video game, sell textbook, and then be talking about some, you need to clean more. Like, what the? I don't know. I just look back at this like, what was I really doing?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, y'all. Hey, it be like that sometimes when you in it though. You be giving people grace. You know what I'm saying? You be like, it's the thing is, it's tough because it's like you going through some stuff, but is it a bad day? Are they having a bad time? Is it a bad? You know what I mean? And so it's hard to just be on that like, oh, you should just leave them and da 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 da. Like I don't know. You know what I mean? Like
he would like gaslight almost in his way of being, right? Because in certain moments he would, oh, thank you for this, thank you for that, oh, so appreciative, and like be like understanding. But then when it comes down
the game, I hate to say that's
no,
the
thank
game.
you.
Like that's what keeps you confused. Like that's all a part of the trick. Like, and that's why it doesn't make sense when men say stuff like that, because they know that they play those same games. Like he's gonna give you enough to make you think that like, oh, this is real him. So when he's doing all of the lying, the manipulating, the gaslighting, you're thinking, oh, like Public just said, maybe it's a bad day, or he'll get back to himself, or is there something I did to make him start acting like it's all about
right. Yes, you're right. And I don't know, I'm just mad at myself because I felt like I really learned this lesson, and clearly the evidence would show I had not. So,
hey, you know what? Men learn how to manipulate better the older they get. So
yeah, that's true. He was 33 acting like this. It was crazy. Like I had to deconstruct.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
Oh, okay. You look young. Okay. I mean, I can't really tell. Your picture is little, so okay.
I'm doing my 20s.
Yeah, you look you in your 20s in the picture. So I was like, oh shit. I was like, he scooped him up a young one. All right.
The looks was not matching up. I'll say that. And it was like, but he would do weird stuff like I was his little settle piece or something, like walking off in front of me and stuff. I was like, oh, I got to go. This is crazy.
I see it. I can track it. But I'm glad you got out of it though before it got worse. You know what I mean?
Amen.
To Nigel said, to my girls, gays plus days, this your sign to rob him.
I did kind of run it up a little bit, and I didn't feel bad at all because I feel like that was compensation for my time and my tribulations of my law degree, my psychology degree that I was putting to you. No,
ain't nothing wrong with it.
Trying to break down.
Osa said, $2 on pub for being old. Crunchyroll equal vag. I didn't know, man. I swear to God, when she said it, I was like, that's an odd thing to call a vagina. A Crunchyroll. I was like, damn, okay. I thought that was like some little cutesy new little play on it. I was like, all right. I done heard it all now. Like, he just wanted my Crunchyroll.
He definitely did, though. That was it, for sure.
So Nigel says, so like, he's still alive?
In a physical sense, yes.
I
think inside that man is going through it.
Okay.
Clearly.
All right. That's wicked. But hey, I appreciate you coming up. And sharing with us. I appreciate it. No worries.
So insightful as I planned, but
it was good. I loved it. We needed that.
Right. Thank you so much.
All right. Damn, that was crazy, man. Yeah, somebody in the comments said, damn, so they got a playbook talking about the men's. Is that what the men's be doing? That's typical, huh? That's not. The shit be so diabolical. I be sitting there like, damn, niggas is really doing the same thing over and over and over again, huh? Interesting. I ain't shocked by it. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I get it, but it is a little crazy though. Like that specifically, you know what I mean? Like I feel like when women tell their stories, it's always like 50 women, you know, depending on the size of the room, it's like 50 women that's like, that exact same thing happened to me. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. They like, yep, me too. I be seeing the comments light up. They be like, yep, why is that my ex? I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Y'all niggas really, cause I guess it's only so many ways, you know what I mean? Like it's only so much you can do. The YouTuber be having books on it. Tonight just said they have a play pamphlet written in crayon. I think it's like a YouTube video. If y'all go look up that dude, Homath is dangerous. The men's love Homath. I followed Homath a few months ago, and I watch his videos from time to time, and I'm like, damn, this fool be just dangerous. Look how he misleading the youth. Goofy ass stuff. Written in scribble scrap. Chicken scratch. Yep. Dude named Homath. Just the name alone. Professor was good.
Hey, just trying to wrap my mind around the inability to say I believe this instead of this is a fact. Because it was just sort of wild to watch a bunch of people who clearly had never done any reading, spouting off like telephone hearsay about concepts they don't understand. And it's just like, how am I supposed to take you seriously if you admit you don't know what you're talking about?
That is men in a nutshell, though. I just want to be clear. That is men in a nutshell. Men will, because we are men, we believe that we can have these heavy conversations. Like I've made this analogy before. Men are very much like that those commercials that like, I stayed at a Holiday Inn last night, right? That's how men are with like every topic. Like a man could go in and think he can give a lecture on brain surgery, and the whole time, you know, he works at the Piggly Wiggly. And that's where the phrase "put the fries in the bag" comes from.
For real.
Like that's where
It's also that phrase, mediocre man. Like y'all, the way y'all be so confidently wrong, I ain't gonna hold you. That's a skill. That's a skill that y'all have. Like y'all, they be so loud and confidently wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, so it's built into us. I don't know where we got it from, but all right, go ahead, Professor.
I think that if they read more, they'd understand that in almost all of nature, females are prioritized because of the whole like bringing life into the next generation thing. But like, not every male is going to be able to have a mate.
That's just like,
I hate this idea of having to compete, but like, it's literally built into sexual reproduction. Like nobody's gonna pick you if you don't want to show them why they should pick you. Like you want a man who can provide by taking you on a date, because if this thing works out, you have to trust he'll be able to provide for you when you're pregnant.
Yep.
And potentially bedridden and every other thing, but they don't want to think far enough ahead. It's just, why isn't the thing I think I deserve right now coming to me? Which it's really hard to understand that mindset, because as a woman, and particularly a Black woman, you are constantly told you don't deserve anything. It's really hard to like figure out how to get into the mindset of that level of like hypocrisy based on a lack of introspection, a lack of like self-awareness or reflection. And it's just, they're not helping their case.
Yeah, at all.
Explaining why it's a problem for women to opt out of being unpaid labor for them, both reproductive and otherwise. Because really, at the end of the day, the whole gold digger myth is really just them projecting about labor digging. You know, men get born, men are drafted, but like men can't keep children alive if they won't wash a dish and cook.
Yeah.
So like, how are they contributing to stuff?
Yeah.
It's such a weird way of minimizing and invalidating like a very important part of
the way things are and how things are.
Way more,
You know?
way more people are parents than there are people in the military. Way more, you know what I mean? There are way more mothers in the world than there are military members and soldiers. So you're more than like, you know, damn near 90% of us collectively are one day going to be parents, right? Based on, I don't know about now, it might probably drop, but you know, historically, 90% of us would end up being parents. Okay. So why, like, that seems like the thing that we need to be focused on, not this hypothetical bullshit, fictional fucking war that, you know what I mean? Like, you're too old to even fight in. Like, you're talking about the draft. This dude's talking about the draft. He's 33 years old. Bro, you're safe. You're safe.
It's
You're not going.
from like lefty circles, which is everybody wants to die in the revolution and nobody wants to do the dishes.
Mm-hmm.
But like every part of maintaining things, like you're gonna have a mess hall.
Yep.
You're gonna need people to do latrines. All of those jobs are still work that's necessary.
Yep. I remember when I sold cars, there was this thing that used to happen. Like, it was this phenomenon that used to happen all the time. There would be people that would come in and they would have bad credit. And we would, like, you know, do a bunch of stuff to get them approved. And we'll finally get them approved, right? And then we would tell them, hey, your payment's gonna be $760, right? On, you know, whatever car, because the rate was 22% or whatever on a $30,000 car, let's say, right? And we're like, yeah, your rate's gonna be your payment's freaking, you know, $698, whatever. And then they'd be like, all right, cool. And we'd be like, but the bank said you need $1,000 down though. And then they would be like, I can't do the 1,000. And then I'm sitting there like, wait, but your payment is $700. You can't do $1,000 down? That doesn't make sense. How do you know what I mean? Like, how, and that's how men are when it comes to this stuff. Men are like, they will, you know, say like, oh, I'm willing to go unalive in a war, but you're not, like you said, you're not willing to do domestic labor. Men will say that they're willing to go out and work and unalive themselves in a factory, right? And go be like their favorite job, the men that they want to, you know, sleep with themselves. I guess they want to sleep with oil riggers because they love oil rigging so much. They talk about the oil riggers and they're like, oh man, men go out here every day and risk their lives to provide for women. But then you don't want to come home and talk to her. You don't want to come home and pay attention to your children. You don't want to come home and cook or clean or wash a dish or wash a load or fold a load or buy groceries or put away groceries or anything like that, right? But you expect me to believe that you're willing to go out in the world and unalive yourself on a job site. Like, for that woman, like, I'm not saying you won't do it because that is your job, but you're not doing it for her or for your kids. Stop lying. Stop lying. You will be doing it anyway. You'll be doing it anyway. Because you need a job. Right? You need a job at the end of the day. Stop playing in our face. Chan, you was about to say.
I also want to say thank you for, like, you know, trying to steer them in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they don't necessarily want to hear it most of the time, because they definitely don't want to hear it.
Hell no, they don't want to hear it out of nobody, but they definitely don't want to hear it out of women, though. And that's what I was saying earlier to Rich. I was like, bro, y'all get up here and fight me tooth and nail every day, right? But let y'all tell it, I'm the person y'all want to be. I'm not saying me personally. I'm saying, like, if you didn't see me online and I met those dudes, like, in real life, and we just had a conversation, and they, oh, you met, yeah, I'm married. I've been with my wife for 18 years, da 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 da. Oh, damn, okay. And yeah, and I'm, whatever, I'm financially successful and all of that stuff, right? If I had that conversation with you in real life, I would be where you would want to be. Guaranteed, I would be where you would want to be, right? I got the kids, I got the wife, I got the house, I got the cars, I got the clothes, I got the money, I got all that stuff, right? Cool. But then as soon as I start telling you, hey, this is how I got it. No. I'm gonna go listen to this motherfucker that's broker than me or as broke as me, has a, less educated than I am, not successful at all, doesn't have a woman, doesn't have access to women. He just puts on a suit and get up there, get online and starts talking. You know what I mean? Like, never had success with women ever, outside of using manipulation tactics That's the only time he has ever had any semblance of success with a woman, right? But then when I talk to them, they don't want to hear it. When I tell them, I'm gonna tell you how you get it, right? Because they think I'm gonna tell them, go to the gym, go work out, go to work, clock in. You know what I'm saying? Go make money, put your nose to the grindstone, right? They expect me to tell them the same thing that every other man has been telling them for the last 50 years as a collective, or 100 years, right? But then when I say, no, you got to be a better person. And this is how you do it. You got to start listening to your wife. You got to start, or to women in general. You have to, you can't, you need to do the work on your own. You can't be expecting women to do the labor for you. You're going to have to, for all intents and purposes, you're going to have to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. This is when I will allow that. Men need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, because in this scenario, we can, right? We do have on the boots, and we have the bootstraps. So we need to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps and start doing the work on our own. Stop expecting women to do the labor for us. Stop depending on them. Stop leaning on them. Stop expecting things out of them. Stop being entitled, right? Why are you misogynistic? Identify what learn what misogyny is. Identify your misogyny. Where does it come from? So we can get rid of it. Why have you been so unsuccessful with women? When you broke up, when the women broke up with you, or what was the main thing that you kept hearing? You didn't listen. You weren't attentive. Were you a cheater? Were you a liar? Where's the accountability? What did you do? How did you, contribute to the failure in the relationship? Like, all these things, when I start, getting to that, they start la 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 la. La 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 la. I don't want la 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 la. But if I was to tell them, and here's the craziest thing, I say, if you took the same 2 hours you took in the gym and applied that to bettering yourself, reading things that weren't like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, fucking 48 Laws of Power, and that goofy ass shit, Sun Tzu, Art of War. If I told you, if you actually studied the history of the patriarchy, of oppression in this country, right? Like, I am utterly interested in understanding it at this point. Like, I can't even begin to tell you guys. The more I read, the more I consume about it, the deeper the rabbit hole goes, right? It's so deep, and so many things are being revealed to me every day. The more I listen and the more I read and consume this content, right? And I'm telling them, I'm like, because once you know, you can't, you know what I mean? Like, you can't unsee it. So I think that's the healthiest thing to do. You need to rip off the fucking blinders so you can see it, right? But they don't want it because they know that that's what's going to happen. Like, once you know, you can't, the red pill you can't go back to sleep, right? Or the blue pill, I'm sorry. You can't take the blue pill and go back to sleep, right? Per the Matrix, the real red pill, blue pill. Once you take the real red pill to wake your bitch ass up, and you actually wake up and now you see what's going on, you can't go back to sleep. You can't. And that's the thing that they fear. Now they know that they will perpetually and forever be responsible for whatever they do. If you don't know, then you get to plead ignorance, right? But if you know and you still go about living the same way, now they feel like but to me, I'm gonna blame you either way, because you're being willfully ignorant. Yeah, I get it. I know you don't know right now, but you don't want to know. You don't want to know. And I know you don't want to know, because when we have these discussions, when we root them in logic, all of a sudden you can't understand. All of a sudden, when I ask you a question and I just ask you to answer the question directly, you stumble, bumble, and fumble over your words, trying to figure out a way to not answer the question directly. Because okay, if I admit to that, then kind of my whole argument goes away. So you pivot and you go, well, men built the world. Like, all right, I'm not.
Right.
Fine.
Men built the world, but men are not responsible for the way the world is.
We don't got nothing to do with how it, like, we built it.
Male privilege. It's like, it's both. They magically did everything, but also aren't responsible or accountable for
nothing. Only the good stuff. Only the stuff they deem to be good, and the things they deem to be good aren't even good. We built the infrastructure. The infrastructure is fucked up. We fighting the wars. Why are we fighting in wars? That's fucking crazy. This morning I was watching a video with my son. He was watching YouTube, and it was showing all of the world leaders. Not all of them, but a bunch of them. So like Xi Jinping, Trump, Macron, the dude from Honduras, the dude from the Philippines, you know, all these militaristic men or whatever. What's his name? The guy from Japan. It was a bunch of dudes, right? And I just was sitting there watching it, and it was so disturbing to see how they're like, it's like so militaristic, and it's so like patriarchal. It's just like a bunch of men like jogging next to the car and like, I'll take a bullet for you. Like, you know what I mean? This valor. It's just weird. I'm just like, if that many people want to unalive you, what does that tell you? If that many people want to unalive you to where you gotta not only ride in a bulletproof vehicle, you have to have literal physical bodies around the vehicle to protect the car. What does that tell you? You don't think you should adjust? Like that shouldn't, you know what I mean? Like it shouldn't be that many people that want to unalive. That's fucking crazy. That to me is a signal that you guys are getting it wrong. Hold on. My bad. I had to take that. That was for my house. They wanted some stuff. Why y'all be on my head for blinking? When I'm blinking, I'm thinking, nigga, get off my dome. Shit, I had to do what I had to do. He was just asking me some weird ass questions. I was like, nigga, what the fuck is this, man? I was confusion. Anyway, y'all can go ahead, finish. You good? Continue.
Professional was speaking.
Oh yeah, go ahead, professional.
I was just speaking because I thought that I was the one having issues with the hearing, but you were on the call.
Oh no, you're good.
I was just saying that like it's you're right. If they took any of that energy and put it into other things, if they stopped trying to argue it because they want to pretend dominance is equal to esteem, like they could take in some of the information and benefit from it, but it is easier to complain about this thing than to make the tiny bits of change that would improve your situation. It's also this idea that like everything is being handed to women.
Yeah.
And so because no one is making sure they are included, they're dropping out of schools and things. They don't want to read the books because the books are biased or whatever other nonsense behavior is required to like stay inside the bubble. But it is weird how it's weird to me. It's obviously not weird to them. To them, it's much weirder to like be willing to examine any of this stuff. It just is so.
Yeah.
At what point do you want to take any kind of agency for yourself?
They don't.
Theoretically, you would want to feel like you have you're empowered in some kind of way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so it just
they don't. But most men don't, and because of the entitlement, men don't. You know, if it's not on a silver platter, then they're not gonna. You know, like men like to tout the idea that we're competitive, but I blow holes in that every day. That men aren't competitive. Men aren't competitive at all. You know what I'm saying? If we were truly competitive, we would fight like hell to make sure that everybody had equity. You know, we wouldn't be afraid of women getting educations. We wouldn't be afraid of women making money and having access to money and, you know, things of that nature. We would want to make sure that women could do whatever. We would want to make sure that LGBTQIA folk are protected and they had access to everything that I had access to as a man. You know, white people would make sure that black people had access to everything they had access to. Same thing, so on and so forth. But the fact that these systems of oppression exist is proof that men aren't competitive, right? There's no reason to have a system of oppression if you are actually competitive. That doesn't make sense. It's an oxymoron. So I know men aren't competitive. I know men are extremely lazy and really have no desire to compete. We don't. We look at competition like a game of Mario Kart. Like we want to get all these power ups and we want to throw bananas and we want to throw, you know, boxes behind us to make women like stumble, bumble, you know, and fumble, you know what I mean? And all of that stuff. Because why not? Because we can, because we want to, we don't want to compete with the woman. We're afraid. And also when a woman beats us, what is that going to do? What is that going to do to my ego? What is that going to do to my masculinity or my idea of it? When a woman beats me, what is that going to do to me as a man? How am I going to deal with that? You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And you see it in relationships when women make more money than their men, how quickly the men change up, how much men literally, when a woman makes more money than a man will literally start to do less in the house than he did before, as to me, as a way to punish her and to manipulate her, to like humble her.
Funny about that is that they do that. I think I've said this before. They do that even when you don't make as much money as they do, but you make decent money. Like if you make good enough money to where they know you're not like financially dependent on them, it's very similar. Like they literally can make double what you make, but because you make enough to where like you could leave him and be just fine, it's the same response. It's insane.
And also, I think that somebody just said, I don't want to compete with women. Why not? If you're competitive, you only want to compete with men. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's weird. I want to compete with the best. If women are the best or a woman is the best, let's compete. I'm not afraid of competition. I don't care who it is. Not physically, but you know what I'm saying? Like in the job, it's like anything with our mind, our creativity or whatever. I don't care. Let's compete. I don't give a fuck. Like what? Like you're like infantilizing women or some shit like that. Like, I don't want to compete with a woman. Why not? Why not?
Competition in this like negative way, but two, and I don't know who said this, so I'm not talking to you personally. One, they think about it in more of a physical way, like, oh, every competition is playing a sport or some shit, or they think about it only in the most unhealthy forms of competition. So like when a lot of people say when a lot of men say I don't want to compete with women, they're basically saying I don't want to use the same, like, which is a lot, same underhanded, manipulation, tactics to try to win over a woman as I would with a man. But it's like, that's not even true. Y'all compete with women more than you compete with men.
Absolutely.
If you really think about it. Like, y'all, like when you think about the most negative aspects of competition, y'all do that more to other women than you do to men. Like, if we being honest about it.
Yeah, they do all the time. And I don't understand that. Now, you know me, I'm not really for like, I think cooperation is better than competition, but I'm saying in this system, right? If it's school, if it's work or whatever the case may be, I've had women beat me. There was this woman I worked with a long time ago. We were both in sales, and before she got there, I think I won I was like number one they called it the matrix. I was at the top of the matrix. So it was like hundreds of people I was competing with. I was number one out of all the sectors, right? I worked for enterprise. I was number one at the top of the matrix for like 6 consecutive months. And then this woman came and we worked together and she started to beat me. And we would like 1 month I beat her and then she beat me like 3 months in a row. And I like couldn't, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, damn, it was close, whatever. But like, she would beat me. Like, once she beat me, you know what I'm saying? Like, she beat me, then I beat her, and she beat me again, and I never beat her again as long as she was there. that I didn't care that she was a woman. I just cared that she was beating me, and I was like, man, I gotta fucking, you know. And we were driving each other. You know what I'm saying? We it made us both better because like every month, she would outperform the month before, and I was like, well, I gotta, you know, we could see everybody's numbers, so I would look and I'd be like, man, I gotta fuck, man, you know, and that was healthy. Like if she didn't show up, I would have made less money. You know what I mean? Even though I lost, right? I still would have made less money. Her being there, her driving me, because I was so much better than the second person. Like it was like the second person was here, and then I was fucking way up here. And when she got there, it was like this. Like we would be doing like this, and I beat her, and then she just would beat me every month, and I'll be right there. That shit was great. I was making more money because of that competition. That was good. Like that was healthy for me. I don't understand that shit. I like to compete against people that are up to the task. That shit's good. I like that. I don't know what you, man or woman. I don't give a fuck. I want to be in a room with the best of the best. I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. I don't want to be the most successful person in the room. You know what I mean? Like I'm not on that type of time. I don't have that type of, my ego don't function like that. I'm perfectly okay being the fly on the wall. You know what I mean? I get in where I fit in. Type shit. I don't understand that. But men are deathly afraid of that. Men don't like that. Y'all don't, let's be real. Y'all don't like that shit. And a lot of that, I know for me, I know a lot of the reason why I think that I'm built like that too is because I think I've always been validated, and I've been validated in the things that I did well. You know what I'm saying? Like people recognize me, I would stand out, right? When I played basketball, I started. When I played football, I was a starter. I was the best at my position. I did whatever. Whatever the case may be. When I was in school, I was one of the smartest people in the class. Like I was always getting validation for. So as I got older, it never, you know what I mean? Like it was never like I needed that shit from everybody. I never needed it as an adult because I got it so much in my youth. I think a lot of it came from that. So then it became like this internal thing for me where I just wanted to be the best version of myself. And I stopped trying to, it was like, I always felt like if I get 100% out of myself, then no way am I not going to be at the top. That's just what I believe in general. If I can get 100% out of myself, then I'm not saying that I'll be the best, but I'll be towards the top. There's no way I'm going to be in the middle or at the bottom. I'm going to be towards the top, if not number one. And that's good enough for me. As long as I'm getting 100% out of myself, I'm okay with wherever I fall, to be honest with you. But, I'm confident in that. And that has been proven to me time and time again. And I think a lot of people never had that or whatever. They never actually gotten 100% out of them. And they never gave 100%, so they don't know what it feels like. But, I don't, that could just be how I feel about it. Right. I don't know, but I have thought about that for other people.
I think you're onto it because this confidence thing, like I think Rich was saying something about confidence coming from the way other people treat you, which is an idea I feel like I've almost exclusively heard from men.
Yeah.
Because I feel like women understand confidence comes from achieving or competing with yourself or feeling like you've accomplished something that you struggled to get, and they're wondering why they feel empty with the nothing because the messaging is you're so important, you're so special, you're so valuable, you're entitled to everything. But they can feel the disconnect. They just can't pinpoint the disconnect.
They don't know where it's coming from.
Hostility.
Yeah.
But it would serve all of them to pick up things for the sake of improving themselves just for the joy of and the validation that comes from knowing you succeeded. Like you climb that mountain, you run that 5K, you did it, you feel good about the fact that you accomplished the thing. You don't have to win, you don't have to do it the fastest.
Yeah.
But you just kind of know it because you put the work in. So of course, if you're not putting the work in, there is an internal disconnect. But like they're so opposed to even considering that maybe trying to do the work could help them feel better.
That's facts.
I don't know if this was just that this particular man, but I did hear a man say something about like basically he alluded to the fact that if there's no audience to like cheer for it, it doesn't feel as much of a win. Like he used the football reference, and he said that he used to play football, and basically he said that he's never again come close to that feeling of like scoring a touchdown and looking around and seeing the whole crowd, cheering for you. He was like, nothing has ever competed with that experience. He said even sex. So
also he outbundled.
I just thought that was kind of like it was a little eye-opening, because I feel like a lot of men feel like that, and he just like articulated it. But I think a lot of men, like, yeah, if they don't have like a crowd clapping for them saying, yay, you did a good job, they don't really feel anything. Like they don't feel a sense of accomplishment unless it's like something they can show off to a bunch of people.
Especially men.
Especially other men.
Especially other men.
Such a huge thing, because it's like, oh, you're like a top athlete, you're gonna get so much validation from other men.
Yep.
Like, yeah, it was just, I don't know, it was interesting to hear.
Yeah. I don't have any interest in getting praise from. I don't care for men or women, but I'm saying like I definitely don't give a fuck about what men think about me. Like clearly, I couldn't care less. Never have. The dudes is weird. Well, I can't say I never have. I have in certain instances, but mostly I didn't care what men thought about me though. I think at an early age, because I realized pretty early on that most men were dumb. Like most of the men I knew were like so much like more dumb than like they were so like uneducated and like didn't care to be. I was just like, why would I give a fuck what you think about me? You're dumb. You can't even fucking read your name on a box. Like if we played popcorn, you would freeze. You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I listening to you? Like you're a fucking idiot. So that never, I don't know. But a lot of men, you know what I'm saying? If you can't read and he can't read, now y'all back at square one. Here y'all go doing the goddamn Spider-Man meme where y'all all just pointing at each other like hope, you know what I'm saying? Like because everybody's an idiot in a circle and you want a circle jerk and you just want you would just want that validation from the man next to you. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Like but you can do better as a man, as a human being. You can do better. You can learn how to read better if you don't believe it. It happens every day. What up, Scrawl and Bite? Appreciate you, Professor.
To my sister.
What?
She's so pretty. You know what? I realized, y'all know when y'all be saying that black men are the white tea men of
black people.
The black community.
Mm-hmm.
It's because they have this idea, because white tea mediocrity gets praised, that they should be praised for showing up. For instance, Exhibit 8, 1804, feels like he should be praised for returning to his kids when he shouldn't have left his kids in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
When his baby mama stood in the paint and took care of the kids by herself, even if he said she had familial support, it really doesn't matter, because unless some people was keeping them kids 24/7,
yeah,
that ain't support. Because I still gotta wake up in the middle of the night and tend to my baby.
The reason she needed the support is because the shit be hard.
So I think because they have this idea that they should be praised for the bare minimum, because that's how white tea men are treated.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, you need to understand you're not them.
They do that, but that's the same thing they be talking about, okay, with the whole like men give women rights, and I'm like, it's the same concept, right? How are you the hero when you're the one who restricted her rights to begin with? How are you the hero for showing up for your kids now when you were the one that abandoned them initially?
I'm going to give you a real life example. You know, the other day when they were saying women's history, International Women's Day was taken off the calendar. Oh my God, where's International Women's Day? It wasn't on iCal. And I looked. It was removed as a national holiday. You know, when they was removing all them holidays and shit, just pressing buttons and shit, he was directing to do this. You know that orange bitch got on national TV with that pen talking about, we love women. We're going to sign International Women's Day into effect.
Oh, he took it away so he could.
You took it, and then you talking about giving back Black history. Like, making Black History Month a month, like making Black History Month a thing.
Yeah. He's that. That's what Trump did. Like, that's what men do.
That's what men do.
That's what men do. Yeah.
It's like you create problems
And then solve.
So you can be the hero.
And not even solve the problem fully. You just solve a part of. You never solve the full problem. You solve a part of the problem, and then you want to be touted as the hero. Like
you leave your baby mama with her kids. You watch her struggle for 6 months. You come back and you say, I want my family back. And then you start helping her, paying bills and stuff again and helping with the kids. But you just left this woman financially strained for 6 months.
mm-hmm.
But I'm supposed to be grateful because you came back. You decided to come back and take back your family.
Nah, we not.
Yeah.
We not praising that.
That's my thing. It's like you say all the time, like men want to be the hero, but the whole time they're the villain.
At the same time.
At the same time.
Yeah, I don't understand it, and that's why I remember I was talking to my wife one day, and I was like, I told her, I was like, yeah, you don't have to I had an issue with something or whatever, but basically I was like, I don't. I'm not asking you to thank me for anything that I've done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't expect you to. And I wasn't saying that because of the type of person she is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't expect you to say that. It wasn't like that. I was saying, I really don't expect you to be like, oh, thank you for doing the things that you should be doing. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't. I don't expect that out of you. In that conversation, I was like, I don't expect that out of you, but I don't want you. But I also would prefer you to not be disrespectful to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got to praise me, but I just don't want you to be disrespectful, you know? But yeah, I don't expect you to tell me that. That's why I think even with my platform or whatever, I get uncomfortable sometimes. People are like, oh, I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. But it does make me uncomfortable when people are like, oh, you're doing the Lord's work. You're doing so great and da-da-da-da-da. You know, because in my mind, I'm like, but I should be doing this. You know what I mean? Like, maybe not on this level, don't get me wrong, but just in general, though, I should be doing this, though.
But you get compared to, see, that's the thing. That's what Shan always says this. There has to be bad men out there for you to look to be propped up as a good man, for the men who be talking about being a good man, etc.
Yeah.
But they're always comparing themselves to the bad men. So unfortunately, twin, we be comparing you to the niggas who.
No, I get it. I understand the reaction and all of that. I'm just saying, in my mind, though, I do feel uncomfortable because I'm like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't. I appreciate it. I'm like, I'm shocked.
Good balance for that. I be telling you ain't shit.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Keep that energy. That's the energy. You know what I mean? I need it.
Okay, y'all be with it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a personal. How do I balance giving that information and not being like, oh, you should be doing it? Like, how do women balance that? Okay, you got a good man, Sabella, and he do all the things. He do everything you ask him to do. How do you balance with, yeah, nigga, that's what you're supposed to be doing, to, oh, baby, I appreciate that so much. Like, because I don't be wanting to balance the feelings.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't feel. I mean, like I said, I feel like it's okay. I feel like it's okay. Say whatever you want to say to the person. I'm saying, though, as a person receiving it, I just make sure that for me, I just make sure that I don't ever get to a place where I'm like, I ain't really got to be doing this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like that. You know, like I feel like, no, this is like the least. Yeah. I'm like, this is.
As long as he's not giving those kind of reactions, like, oh, you should, like, I think it's okay. It's okay to appreciate your man, okay? Like, it's okay to.
No.
Just like, I think we have to take out some of the romantic part. Like, how would you treat a friend? Like, wouldn't you want to show your friend that you appreciate them just for being them or being a good friend or whatever, you ain't gotta go out your way and fall all over yourself like you ain't never had nothing. But it's okay to say, like, thank you. I appreciate, how you show up for me every now and then.
Hold on, Portia. Y'all can't hear on YouTube. It's coming through loud and clear on my end. Maybe I'm wrong though. But yeah.
Yeah, a little paprika, not the don't be liberal with it like garlic powder.
Yeah, I don't my thing is I don't think it's on you to police you giving that person, credit or adulation or what, or appreciation or whatever, right? It's on the person receiving it to not, get big-headed, if that makes sense. Right? Like, I don't, like, my wife could tell me every day what she does. My wife always is telling me that I'm doing good and she appreciates me and stuff like that, right? And I can't, like, that's what I mean. I do appreciate it and it does make me feel good. But simultaneously, I think a part of it, the reason why it makes me feel good is because I know that she doesn't have to do that. See what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, she doesn't have to thank me. She doesn't, she doesn't owe that to me. So when she does it, I appreciate it because I'm like, yeah, she doesn't have to be like, oh, I really appreciate you doing the things that you should be doing anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I deal with it, I think. And I don't know if that's the healthiest way to deal with it, but I feel like for me, it's the healthiest way to deal with it as opposed to it being like words of affirmation, like I need that from you and da 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 da. Like I don't. Like, I don't need for you, but and I'm saying that because with me personally, my wife shows me she appreciates me. So she doesn't have to tell me she appreciates me. That's what I'm leaving out. My wife shows me that she appreciates me. She never has to say she appreciates me. You know what I mean? Like, she's literally showing me every day that, like the type, like how she feels about me. If she wasn't doing that, then maybe I would need her to vocalize it. Now I need her to tell me because I'm not seeing it in her actions. But if she's showing me it, why do I give a fuck if she says it or not? You know what I mean? Like, that's not gonna change how I feel or what I do, And if she tells me, then it's just the cherry on top. I'm like, oh, great. And she, you know what I'm saying? Like, and she appreciates, like, and she told me she loves me, and she told me I'm cute today, and she told, like, what? Great. Thank you.
Y'all know how I am about cleaning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Shan, but I went to the upper room last week when I told him you did a good job on the bathroom. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I can tell, like, his whole countenance changed. Like, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, positive reinforcement is a real thing, right? We know that. Ain't nothing wrong with, ain't nothing wrong with that. Like I said, like, my thing is I don't like people going out of their way to disrespect me. If you got to say something, if I didn't do it right, and then, like, I should be cleaning up the bathroom anyway. So when I clean it up, I don't need for you to tell me thanks for cleaning up the fucking bathroom, right? Also, with that, if I fuck up or if I don't do well, I also don't mind if you be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I didn't, you got to wash them corners. You know what I'm saying? Like, you almost made me spill yak on my $200 suit type shit. Like, I'm cool with that vibe too. I don't need for you to be like, you don't need to balance that out for me. Like, I really appreciate your effort in cleaning up the bathroom, but all I'm saying, like, I don't need you can just cut straight to it. Hey, that, how you left that out or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You left a lot of hair on the floor. Definitely try next time to get that up. You know what I'm saying? Because
said it you public, but it's because a lot of men want constant validation.
No, I know.
Information for, like, going to basics.
No, that's what I'm saying. I understand. I get that. I get that a lot of men feel that way. I'm just saying, like, I try very hard not, like, I really never needed that, to be honest with you. But, like, I definitely don't, like, the older I get, and I'm like, I don't need that shit. Like, like, I take my son to jujitsu. I don't need her to be like, thank you for taking him to jujitsu today. Like, no problem, babe. Like, Nigga, that's my son. Like, what the fuck is we talking about?
Yeah, I have an example of that too, because my baby daddy had called me out one time. I would tell him thank you every time he sent me money every month, like for our kid. I'd be like, thank you. He'd be like, okay. Like, he let it go the first few times, and he was like, why do you thank me for doing that? Like, that's kind of weird.
Are you gonna do this every month? Because it's coming.
We get it, bro. But I'm just saying thank you. Like, you, and then I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, why am I saying thank you for something that he really is like obligated to do?
Yep. Really supposed to be saying, huh, nigga?
Have some more, please, sir.
Yeah, you supposed to hit that nigga with some. Put that nigga with some. Where the money at? You supposed to text. Hey, after he send you the money, you supposed to text that nigga better half. That's supposed. I thought so. That's what you supposed to say to the nigga.
I mean, he gonna come back and say, make it enough. I'm definitely about to start trolling him now. Thanks for the idea.
When a nigga send you some money for his kid, you supposed to text that nigga. I thought so. That's it. That's the only proper response. Took long enough. Exactly. That's it. That's it. This all. Them the only proper responses for a nigga paying for his own child. Like, what the fuck? That's what I'm saying. It just, I don't get down like that. Like, that shit is just weird to me. Like, I'm like, nigga, this is your kid, bro. This is your house. That's your shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, nobody gotta thank me for doing no shit. Like, now, if I do some shit, don't get me wrong. If I do some shit, like Kay was talking about how that man drove all the way across town to pump the gas for you, you definitely gotta, you know what I'm saying? You definitely gonna have to put a little razzle dazzle on it for your boy. Definitely. Definitely. I'm not even saying I will stop doing it if you don't, but I'm gonna feel some type of way on the inside though.
What you said? I missed what you said.
When you said that man drove across town to pump your gas for you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he do that. He make sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If I do some shit like that, because that's unnecessary.
When he told me to sit in the car until he got there, he said thank you.
At the least, a thank you. At the very least, that's all I'm saying. I go above and beyond. I do need a thank you. Please. Okay? I do. That's all I'm saying. A little bit. Just a little, you know what I'm saying? Just a little bit. That's it. But after that, I'm good. Yeah. I cook, I clean. I don't need no thank yous. I don't need no thank yous. You want something to eat? I'm getting ready to cook. We got food in the house, but what you want to eat? I really want to eat dal and, this dish and that dish, but we don't got the ingredients, and I go back and I go to the store and go get you the ingredients and I cook it. Yeah.
That's just something that I could just do. Because even when you just said that, like, I thank my cousin for cooking dinner. Like, if she cooked dinner, I'd be like, thanks for cooking dinner.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just be thanking people for random shit. Like, bitch, we both had to eat. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and she's just like, oh yeah, you're welcome. But it's like, I don't know what that is. Like, I don't know where that comes from. But that's for me. I'm gonna say thank you.
That comes from being a woman. Y'all always apologize and you're always thanking everybody for every fucking thing. That's that woman in you.
I'm so grateful.
Thank you.
That's natural instinct. That's how we are naturally.
Thank you. Women naturally submissive. That's what that tells me. Y'all naturally just thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No, thank you. No. Thank you. Thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Thank you. No, I'm sorry. No, you go first. No, I'm sorry. No, you go first.
Not too much.
I'll be like, God damn, y'all some humble motherfuckers. I could never. You got one time. If I wait, if we had a crosswalk or a stop sign, I do this one time and you hesitate, you better not jump off that curb. You might get clipped.
Because this made me feel triggered. She said it's a defense mechanism. We're safe when they feel validated.
Nah, that's for real. Yeah.
That's
what it is. That's what it is. That's facts. That's facts. That's why I be laughing, because even the meanest women, like the women that be liking to get online and act all mean and tough, that's really how they be acting. But in real life, they really do be on some like, no, I'm sorry, and they be the nicest, and like women be nice as fuck. I'm like, damn, that shit crazy. I want to be nice. I don't know what that shit. I don't even know. Hey man, I don't even know what it feel like to be nice. Like it just on a daily. Like I'm not. Like, I don't even know what that shit feel like. I'm polite, you know what I'm saying? I try to be polite, but I don't even know what it feel like to be like just like a genuinely like pleasant person, and you know, and yes, and thank you, and oh no, that was beautiful, and I appreciate, like, I don't even know what that shit feel like. You do some shit for me, I'll take that shit and keep it moving. Like, nigga, that's what you were supposed to do. I am. That's what I'm saying. I'm really that nigga. Like, I don't like. You know, I'm a little, you know, what it is. It is what it is. I'm not an asshole. I don't go out of my way to be a prick or anything like that. But, you know, I definitely just, I don't be no home train. Nah, man. Y'all say I got fatherless behavior. My mama was there. Shit. My mama, I had to send her a TikTok the other day. I had how when your mama be yelling at people on your behalf and shit. I was like, this you. Because that woman, anything, the plate come wrong from the kitchen in the back, from the restaurant shit. Some shit happened at school, some shit happened in sports or whatever. Mama was on their neck. She was on their neck. No, I'm just trying to figure out the problem. So tell me again, what happened? So basically what I'm hearing is you, what happened is, so you, no, hold on, wait. So you took what he said wrong, because that's not what he was saying. I know my baby. He doesn't talk like that. Whole time I was a goddamn terrorist. No, let me tell you. No. I know him. I don't know you. I know him. And I've never heard him say that before. I'll be sitting behind that woman like,
what she did, what's wrong? Like, I'm really trying to figure out. My mama gonna try to say, tell me, oh no, G don't get pops no more. Kayla don't pop them. She said, but she be needing a pop. Needing a pop.
You mean a popsicle? We only handing out popsicles around here, man. Oh, for real. We will stomp. We gonna don't get stomped out in here. I wish somebody would hit. I actually don't wish somebody would hit my baby, but yeah.
Right, please, Lord.
Matter of fact, don't hit my baby, because I don't want to go to jail. It's really for me. It ain't even. It's really about me at this point. No, please don't hit my baby, because I got something going for me right now. My life is good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got things are falling into place. Please. But hey, y'all, I'm about to dip. I'm gonna go and eat me some lunch. I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for coming up. Peace.
Thank you for eating on camera today.
Oh, really? Yep. Dropped. Tell us in the comments what you appreciate, how you appreciate me not eating on camera today. Y'all not gonna shame me every day. Y'all not gonna shame me for snacking. Okay? That's what y'all not gonna do. Let me tell you. What you're not gonna do is shame me for having a little something sweet every now and again. Okay. That's what's not gonna happen. A little six figure tell him a little snack. Ah, damn, a little snacky snack. You know what I'm saying? You spoke too soon. Look at that. You done spoke too soon. Hey, shout out to the tappers, yappers, and super chatters. Kendra, I appreciate you. We did it, Joe. We out this piece, man. Shout out to the best minds in the business. Everybody that joined the panel, the haters. Haters come back tomorrow, man. It ain't nothing to it but to do it. Fuck patriarchy. I appreciate you for real, for real. Shout out to the new subs and the old subs. Comment cousins. Comments was going up per the usual. We're gonna be back on Thursday. I'm gonna see how Friday goes. I got something planned. I got some things going on, but we'll see what happens, man. I'll get with y'all.